Hey and hello there everyone. Welcome. I didn't realize it had actually kicked in yet. So my stream started in a weird way where I wasn't even sure if it was like actually gonna work or not. But oh well, we're here. Hello. So hi everyone. Welcome. Screen, don't go dark. Um, so how are we all doing? I hope you guys are doing well. So yeah, we'll get into lots and lots of things today. But yeah, so today is my last stream for a few weeks, not ever. But yeah, I'm not going to be streaming next Saturday, like the first weekend of May, and I won't be streaming the second weekend of May either. I may upload some shorts or something. I did get a video that I was like, oh, that could make a fun YouTube short. So maybe I'll upload like a couple of shorts or something whilst I can't stream. Um, but but yeah, we're not going to be having any streams for the first two weekends of May, but then once I'm back, we'll hopefully be starting my big shiny new project, although the week after that is also when I'm going to have had my tooth out or whatever. If you missed all that news last week, I'll get into it again today. Um, so maybe when I'm back, maybe I will do some kind of like filler stream or something. But hang on, I'm going to just move a cable or two. There we go. So maybe when I'm back, I actually might just do a quick filler stream or two before I get to my big project. But we'll figure that out when we get there. So anyway, I won't keep waffling. We'll kind of get into stuff whilst we shiny hunt because we can do that. But the one final thing I will do, your birthday is in May on a Sunday, Neo. Hang on, so is it in the first half of May or the second half of May? Because if it's in the second half of May, I could wish you a happy birthday like the day before your birthday. But if not, then I'll wish you a happy birthday in a minute. But let's say hi to some people first. So I saw Neo and Lexi, so hi Neo, hi Lexi. And let's just see if my chat actually works today. Because last week my chat had a really big issue where it was like 20 minutes behind or something. It was like 10 to 20 minutes behind. It was really crazy. Oh no. Have I just broken my chat? No, chat, please work. Please work, chat. No. Please work. It worked. Okay. So not Lana. Hello, welcome. So we've got hi Lexi, hi Neo, hi Not Lana, hi Andrew, hi Katie, hi Kevin, hi Zach, hi Cramin, I like cramming, and I hope you like cramming too. Hi NSM, hi LPBVGC, hi I'm Mr. Gold, oh my gosh, got loads of people here today. Like everyone's here today. Hi Lovecat Mew Mew, like really, like everyone's here today. And I think I said hi to Andrew, but if I didn't, hi. And Zander, hi. There you are. And hang on, I just saw someone else. I think I did. Maybe I did. Or did someone change pictures? Or am I just like hallucinating now? Okay, I think that's all good. Yeah, so I do apologize for the chat issue that I had last week. No idea what happened. One thing I am thinking of is I might maybe put like a Nightbot timer or something like that, and have like a Nightbot timer, and then just kind of say, I might like put a timer on Nightbot so that Nightbot can remind me, say like every 15 minutes or something, and be like, it's been 15 minutes since, the last 50, it's been another 15 minutes, so that I know like when 15 minutes has gone by. I genuinely might do that, but anyway. Redlocks too. Hi, welcome. And this is your first stream you've caught live? Oh, well, thank you. Hi. Well, welcome. I'm so happy you've been able to make it. Well, in which case, let's try and get a shiny Zorua so that it's this isn't like totally boring or anything. And Shabertooth, hello, welcome. Oh, by the way, and I do apologize. So last week when I did the Pokemon Snap, which you should totally go watch if you didn't, by the way, it's available on replay. It was a very fun stream. Again, minus that chat issue. But what I will say is, so I do apologize if I missed like the last like 10 to 20 minutes of chat, because like I said, the way my chat was appearing on screen, it was showing like stuff from like 10 to 20 minutes ago. So there was a Wonga at the end of the stream, but because I didn't get to see it in chat, I don't know if that person... I know who the person was. I can tell who the person was. I don't know if they did it, like, anonymously or not, but if that person would like a 1 week belated, and a week ago we had Wonga from so and so, please, they can let me know in the chat. They can be like, psst, Beau, yes, you can do it, and I will happily give a shout out to them. But again, I don't know whether they like did it anonymously or not, because you can do it anonymously. Yeah, hang on, is there like... Oh, yeah, there's like a hair on my TV screen. Okay, so before I get talking into... Oh, your girls are unique! Hello! Wow, everyone's here. This is great. It's so lovely seeing so many of you. Thank you for, joining me before my break. So here we are. We're not... Well, this isn't... No, Dallas Zappa Passage, no. We want the West Province, Area 3. This is a good place to hunt for Zorua. Now, there's a Dedenne, and there's a Primeape, and there's an Oinkologne, and like, oh, like a little Shroodle, and a Tropius, and all kinds of stuff. But we can't see any Zoruas. So, what are we going to do about that? Well, we're going to save our game 50 bajillion times, because that's what we do here at Beau Games. And then we're going to set up a picnic. This is just me explaining the significance of this shiny hunt today. Generally, I have just said, live shiny hunting stream. I have never really specified what Pokemon we're going after, except for Salazzle, and that was a whole other story. But what makes Zorua special? What makes Zorua rare? Well, this is where I'll just explain the significance of this stream, and then we will get right into it. Now, but I will just double check I know it's a smoked fillet, and I could make a smoked fillet burger, but let me just double check the quicker, easier way to make this burger. Is it just like a salty sandwich? Oh no, salt and sweet. Okay, we can do that. So we can either do the burger sandwich, but I have a lot of Herba Mystica because I have been farming for Herba Mystica. So we're going to just do one smoked fillet, and then one sweet and one salty. Ooh, salt and sweetie, sweet and salt and sweet fish. Oh, we got a gold pick, and I got the silver pick. In honor of Kevin, I do have lots of different picks. I got the blue... Well, I don't know why I have... Oh, no. I got 52 of the Parasol because of Chongyun, and I thought that was kind of funny. So we'll experiment with different picks. But let's go with the classic, the silver pick, the Kevin pick, and we'll see how this goes from here. So yeah, so we're going to make a dark-type sandwich. We're going with the sweet and salty smoked fillet. But if you don't have enough of salty or sweet, what you can do is you can just do, so it's like burger, green pepper, regular onion, tomato, is it onion? Oh, now I'm freaking out if it's onion. No, I think it is onion. I think it's onion, green pepper, tomato, and then like a burger, and then you need like two of the smoked fillet, and then like I'd say like two of the same Herba Mystica. Some will work better than others, but you could do like too spicy or too bitter. If the Pokemon doesn't appear, just change the Herba Mystica. But that's like the burger formula. But we don't need to do the burger formula because we have a lot of Herba Mystica, and it's just easier to make a sandwich with just smoked fillet in it. So let's see: Sparkling Power Dark, Title Power Dark, Encounter Power Dark. So excellent. So we are now going to bump into lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of dark-type Pokemon. So look, there's a couple of Mabostiffs. Although, what's weird is that normally Mabostiff only appear if like a group of like 4 or 5 Mastiff are around them. And this fella... I don't know. He seems to be kind of timid. Well, it's because he's secretly a Zorua! And this is the significance of why the Zorua shiny hunt is different. Because we can't see little Zorua here. Little Zorua will be disguising himself as other Pokemon. Not just Mabostiff. But look, you can see there's a bunch of Mabostiff in the background. All of those Mabostiff, if there aren't Mastiff around them, every single one of these Mabostiff is going to be a Zorua. Now, the the Mabostiffs will, and you may be thinking, oh, does the Mabostiff appear shiny? But look, this is a Zorua. This is gonna be a Zorua. These are all these Mabostiffs are Zoruas. I promise not every single Pokemon is going to be a Mabostiff. There will be others. You'll see Tropiuses and stuff like that. And I'm not 100% sure why we've got a load of Mabostiff specifically at the minute. But yes. But basically, but this is the difficulty. We're not going to see a shiny Mabostiff, right? Every Mabostiff is going to look normal. But the Zorua hiding behind it will be shiny. So what we need to do is we need to meticulously, like, KO, using our buddy Pokemon, our Meowscarada, we need to KO all of these Mabostiff and see individually if they are or are not shiny. So, okay, so that one actually was a Mabostiff, because, look, there's a little Mastiff there. But if there aren't Mastiff around it, then it's a Zorua. Now, was that a Toedscool? It was a Toedscool. So that actually was a Toedscool. And it's raining, so the game is lagging as well, which is just wonderful. But that is why this is going to be a very special and awkward shiny hunt. Because normally, we can just run around and look at all the Pokemon that are spawning around us. That's what we have gotten used to in our various numerous shiny hunting streams. However... that's not what we're going to be able to do today. We have got to just wail on like a bajillion fake Mabostiff. Now, Meowscarada's not attacking this one, but then it did. And that's where... So basically, Meowscarada will not KO a shiny Zorua. So if Meowscarada goes around and then it sort of gets a little... You can see that little icon of Meowscarada in the bottom left corner. If there's like a sort of like a nervous sweat, kind of nervous bit of sweat, or like a tear kind of thing, and Meowscarada's like, no, I don't want to take out this Mabostiff, then that means that we have a shiny on our hands. So basically, this is gonna, in terms of what's on the screen, this is gonna be a very boring stream, but what happens, but we're going to just be wailing on, like, fake Mabostiff after fake Mabostiff after fake Mabostiff. But eventually, in time, we're going to come across one, hopefully, well, fingers crossed, we're going to come across one that Meowscarada does not want to KO. And when that happens, I am going to get very, very excited, and we're going to know, holy cow, we have just got the shiny Zorua. So, it's funny, when I actually tested this, just to sort of, like, check the principal idea, I did just use, like, some kind of regular Dark-type sandwich, so maybe that's why we're now getting just, like, all Mabostiff, instead of something else, but yeah, I actually did get, like, a healthy mix of Zoruas and other Pokemon, so this will be a bit more boring because it is just Mabostiff. I was hoping that we'd run into, like, fake Tropiuses and fake Oikolones and fake Primates and stuff. That is what I kind of found in my practice run, but I guess when you make a good shiny sandwich, like I did, then that means you do get the better thing. But see, this is hard, because look, there's a bajillion Mabostiff over there. And it's like, which ones do we go for? Do we go for, like, these ones over here? Or do we go for, like, the bajillion over there? That's what's hard about this. We have to decide. By picking left or right, we like to pick left, left, left here at Beau Video Games. But we could be ignoring a shiny Zorua over there to the right. So it's very it's going to be a very interesting shiny hunt. So that is why this is going to be, this is why this is a special one. This is why it needs its own dedicated stream. This is why, you know, if we say had like half an hour left, I couldn't just be like, you know what? Let's try and hunt for a Zorua. You know, it's like, no, you need to like dedicate time to this. Like you need to set aside time. You need to have a couple of hours free and do this in installments, you know. So, but we'll have to see. But this is why I'm like, do you think we will get a Zorua or not? So now that I've explained everything, let me just pause so I can check chat for a sec, just because if anyone's like, Beau, audio loop, I have not looked at chat for a minute. So let me just scroll back up, and then we'll catch up with chat, and then we'll see what happened. So right there was Shibertooth. And then let's see. So let's say hi to people. Could probably set up like a stream uptime command or something of the sorts. Yeah, I don't know what Nightbot is capable of, even though I've known him my whole life. Ha 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 ha. But we'll have to see. I hope this shiny Zorro run doesn't end up as a famous Shinx. Sabertooth, if we get this Zorua early or something, maybe we could try and do something where like, or maybe like one day, if you still don't have a Shinx, we could do something where like we join up multiplayer cooperative. I make a shiny sandwich, turn my game off, and then you'll just be left on your own with the effects of a shiny sandwich, and you will have 30 minutes to go get your shiny Shinx. Because oh, Lovecat Mew Mew. One time you accidentally find a shiny Zoroark while trying to catch a Brambleghast for your decks. Wow. Skywatcher, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank you for the shiny luck. Yes, we need. So thank you for all the sparkles and all the shiny luck. Oh, Zorua looks similar to my actual name, so I thought it was. Threw you off a little bit. I know what you mean. Your girls are unique. I know what you mean. If I ever play a game like Fire Emblem, where they have a brigand, which is like a real word, it looks like Bridgeland, and so or Bridgeland. So I will. So if I ever see like a brigand, like, oh, you encountered a brigand, I'm like, you encountered a what? And it's like, oh, right, a brigand. So yeah, Caitlin, hello, welcome, 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 welcome. So let's see. Ooh, LPBVGC, you found a Canadian penny from 1985. Whoa. That's sort of old now, which it shouldn't be old. Like the 80s aren't long ago, but it's like, yes, they are. Okay, let's see. My chat isn't scrolling down anymore. But okay, but it's 11:18 a.m. If anyone wants to type that back, like, yes, it's 11:18 a.m. Beau's taking these dogs to the pound. Ding! Yes. And then NSM, I heard you're looking for a Pokemon in Pokemon Go. You might have what I'm looking for. Well, in Pokemon Go, you can't do long-distance trades. If you're talking about you might be from a Vivian region, I actually haven't had a chance to post this yet, but I actually have all the Scatterbug and Vivian that I need now. I actually got my final... I actually got my final Vivian in Pokemon Go, so I actually have the Vivian medal now, which is really cool. So I'm so grateful. Okay, so this is actually like a real Mabostiff here. I was kind of hoping we'd get some other Pokemon in addition to Mabostiff, just because I could show you like how Zorua is different as well. Because when I was doing my practice with like all the Tropiuses and stuff like that, see, I can tell that that's a Zorua because it's running away. But yes, but one of the things, so Zorua is like a timid Pokemon. It like runs away when you approach it. You know, you'll kind of like stand off against it, but then it'll be like, and it'll run away. That's one of the ways that you know that you have a Zorua on your hands. And so a Pokemon like a Primeape, like say if we had a Primeape that was here and that was disguised as a Zorua, Primeape is a very like aggressive Pokemon, like it will chase you down and try and fight with you. But a Zorua disguised as a Primeape will run away from you, and that's how you know, oh, this is a Zorua. So if you're ever looking for a Zorua in your game, like you need a Zorua for your Pokedex, and you don't have a smoked fillet and you can't make a dark type sandwich, what you can do is you can just look at the Pokemon's different behaviors. And this is one of the things that this game does do better than Pokemon Legends Arceus. Pokemon Legends Arceus has Zorua and Zoroark, but they don't transform. They just appear as themselves. And it's a shame that they don't have their transforming abilities, because it's so clever how in this game, like, Zoruas can hide in plain sight. And same with Ditto. Ditto does the same thing. And Ditto is a Pokemon that flees as well. Ditto is a timid Pokemon as well. So it is very quick to flee. And yeah, so that's kind of why... But that is one way that these games, like, kind of build on and add on to... not really add on to Arceus, because the thing is that Arceus... Again, some people could credit Arceus as the game that like introduced kind of like Pokemon characteristics kind of thing. Like, oh, this Pokemon's kind of timid and this one's like kind of aggressive or whatever. But in truth, that was something that was in Pokemon Sword and Shield and was kind of in some ways technically introduced. It was very lightly introduced in Pokemon Let's Go. So for example, Abra, if you approach an Abra from the front, it can disappear. So you have to approach it from the side or the back. So that was something Pokemon Let's Go introduced, but Pokemon Sword and Shield was really the game where different Pokemon will, like, some will run away from you, some will run towards you, some just kind of behave independently of you. That was the game that, like, really introduced that. And some people could mistake it for being Arceus because, oh, in Arceus, the Pokemon can hurt you rather than just, like, start a battle with you. But it was Pokemon Sword and Shield that did that. Arceus didn't really even build on what Sword and Shield did. It just did the same thing again. This game is the one that I would argue that then built on it. Because it has, like, Ditto and Zorua hiding in plain sight, which is such a cool game mechanic. So like, there's a bunch of Mastiff there. So this Mabostiff is actually a real Mabostiff. But, like, all these are, like, Zoroarks because they're... Zoruas because they're loners. And they don't have little Mastiffs chasing them around. Dang it, Mastiff! I'm trying to make a point here. So there we go. Okay, oh, Andrew just put 7:19. So yeah, if it's 19 past, then that means that you're about, like, you know, you're about live, or maybe you're like a minute behind or something. But okay, good. Oh, and Xander, I remember in Arceus, if your character was injured, Blissey and Chansey would approach you. Oh, that's kind of interesting. It'd be interesting if they, like, didn't do that when you're healthy, but then they do when you're injured. Okay, well, in which case, okay, Arceus did expand upon the Sword and Shield thing a bit. If that is true, and not just a theory, a game theory, then I will concede that to Legends Arceus for sure. Because Legends Arceus did genuinely introduce and do a lot of really cool things. Don't think I, like, hate the game or something. I just think it's a very mixed package when a lot of people call it, like, one of the best games on the Switch, and it's like the Switch has a great library though. And Legends Arceus just doesn't really stand toe to toe with some of with like Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, Metroid Dread, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and 3, and all these games. But I've gone on that rant before, so I won't go on it here now. Okay. So, but no, yeah, so periodically, maybe out of fear for if I'm worried my chat is behind, I might just ask, like, chat, how many minutes past the hour is it? So at the minute, it's 24 minutes past on my end, but yeah. And then funnily enough, Nightbot has just put a message being like, I'll try my best to read chat. But let's see, does anyone say anything? Because the thing is, I actually should be able to read chat a bit more today, because I can easily just send Meowscarada out, and then kind of have a quick look at chat, and then kind of take it from there. So, let's see. What if Beau is the shiny Zorua all along, Skywatch asks. What a silly notion that is. Okay, so, no, it is funny actually. Me and my good friend Ryan Bartley, she kind of has this bit of like an ongoing like in-joke between us, or gag. She kind of posts the GIF from that episode of Pokemon where there was like Ditto and a shiny Ditto. And she kind of like will post that and kind of like say it's like it's the two of us together kind of thing. I do just need to check occasionally if we don't get like a shiny Mabostiff or something, because in theory, in game theory, we could end up accidentally getting like a shiny Mastiff or a shiny Mabostiff. So is that a real Toedscool? It is a real Toedscool. So see, that's a real Mabostiff. And one of these is a oh, hang on, why is Meowscarada not attacking? Hang on. Oh no, hang on. Mastiff, get away. Okay. Because we just need to make sure there isn't like a game shiny. Okay, I mean, I suppose in theory the Mastiffs could be fake as well, but they would have to be like running away and stuff like that. So, but no. So Ryan sort of jokes about us being like this pair of dittos and stuff like that. So in her head canon, I am a shiny ditto. So that makes me, you know, it's like, you know how they say like, oh, you're 1 in a million. It's like, Beau, you're 1 in 4,096. 1024 with a sandwich. Okay. So no, but it is funny actually. Just coming from the world of mathematics, it is funny. If you're ever saying to someone like, "Oh, you're 1 in a million," don't say that, because that's technically not as flattering as you sort of want it to be, because we're on a planet of 8 billion people. So basically you're saying like, oh, you're 1 in 8,000 people. There are 8,000 people on the planet just like you. If you ever really want to impress that special guy, gal, or non-binary pal, you got to say you're 1 in a trillion. If you say 1 in a trillion, you'll be safe. Our population will never get to a trillion, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, so if you ever like, oh, you're 1 in a trillion, that's how you woo your special someone in a mathematically satisfying way. So, oh, I'm such a nerd. Right, this episode could have been titled "Who Let the Dogs Out." Talking about Beau being a Pokemon makes me want him to voice Pokemon in the anime. Oh, well, I mean, that'd be very sweet. I mean, that's like everyone's dream, basically, to like play a character, to be a Pokemon, and to like be like some cool human character in Pokemon, and then like a gym leader or something, and then also like be a Pokemon as well. Because yeah, that's always the dream. It's what everyone wants. Hang on, why are you not attacking? Okay, no. Again, sometimes Meowscarada won't attack, but you can kind of tell it's just because like the partner system is glitched and not because it's shiny. You usually know when it's shiny. Like I said, that little Meowscarada icon in the bottom left, there will be little like sort of tears or like sweat, like either sweat, like sort of nervous sweat sort of noises, or like tears, like kind of similar to the little tears. Like if you sort of see that little, you know, it kind of almost looks like a blue heart, but they're like tears. But you'll get that in like the bottom left corner. And that's when you know we'll have our shiny. But again, in theory, in game theory, this will just be very boring in principle. We are already over halfway through our sandwich, and we have not gotten a shiny. Because again, normally when we shiny hunt, what we do is we can see that like, oh, there are like a bajillion Mabostiff, and then we like run over to the other side, and then it's like, oh, there's a bajillion more Mabostiff. But here, we have to just very methodically knock them out one by one, 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 by one. So it's very tedious, but that's why when we do get our shiny, it will be all the more special. Because the other shinies we've got, again, sometimes a comment I get a lot is people will say like, oh, Beau, you're so lucky with shinies or shiny hunting or whatever. And I always sort of argue, and it's not just like a humble, modest, like, oh, that's sweet of you. Like, oh, I'm not really. It's like, no, I'm really not. Like, I am playing a mathematical game when I do this. When I do the shiny hunts, like, when there are like a bajillion Pokemon all circling around me, and I'm just like running around looking at them all, I am playing a game of, I am spawning Pokemon that have like a 1 in several hundred shiny rate or whatever. And I am spawning, like, say, 10 Pokemon every 15 seconds or whatever. And mathematically, over the course of, like, a half hour, you are going to bump into a shiny kind of thing. Like, that is the game I'm playing. So it's like, I'm not really lucky. I'm just kind of, like, playing out the odds. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's the old sort of, like, you know, sort of like give enough monkeys on enough typewriters enough time and they'll write Shakespeare. You know, it's that principle, but like a bit more, but way more likely than that kind of thing. It's just maximizing my odds and then playing out the scenario where, yeah, in like half an hour, you are statistically likely to have gotten a shiny. That's just how this works kind of thing. So it's not really luck. If anything, actually, there's like the element of sort of quote-unquote skill from just sort of acquiring the knowledge of knowing how to get a shiny in like 30 minutes. Like, if any, that's kind of all there is. You do need the luck. Like, now, if you get the shiny within 5 minutes, that's very lucky. But if you get the shiny after about like 15, 20 minutes, you know, that's about par for the course. Again, like the luck comes from how many shinies you get in, like, say, your half-hour sandwich, right? If you make a sandwich, you know, I sort of joke to, like, oh, the sweet on your sandwiches work all the time, because whenever I make those, I seem to get, like, 5 shinies or something in half an hour, which is crazy. But to get 1 or 2 shinies in half an hour, that is statistically likely, you know? So hang on, one of these is a real Mabostiff because there's a load of Mastiff there. So let me just check very quickly. Kieran was in Horizons. Oh, cool. Working with Lisa would be a dream. She seems really cool. Yeah. And then some people are talking about people in Texas. So that's like a little bit not relevant to me, but and then what else? I did voice the Kara Miraculous Ladybug. So here's the thing. What I will just sort of say one thing, and I don't like sort of putting out my roles out there too shamelessly, but at the same time not doing so has actually kind of bit me in the bum, because it means I've missed out on things and like that I didn't know were things. But anyway, but like one thing that I do think would be really cool and really fun in Pokemon is to be the voice of the Pokedex. You know, to have that nice, clear, you know, sort of nice, clear, well-spoken voice explaining who the Pokemon are and what they do. I do actually think that would be I think that would be a fun thing for me. And again, because, like, you know, like I played the Kara Miraculous and stuff like that. So, you know, I do think that's right up my alley to be like the voice of a Pokedex. I do think that would be a really cool thing. But I do think that would be really fun. Because, yeah, a lot of people would probably just think of like a gym leader or a Pokemon or something like that. But there is that part of my brain that's like sort of like, don't forget the Pokedex. I think that would be really cool. But yes. So no, but I appreciate all this fan casting in the chat and stuff like that. Look, one thing I will say is, you know, sort of, because I sort of talked about my philosophy of, oh my gosh, hang on. This is it. Hang on, I got to save the game. Hold on. This is it. Have I got this in the first half hour? No way. No way. Yes way! Yes way! Yeah! Oh, of course I got it on the first sandwich. Okay, so you know that thing about luck? Okay, this is kind of lucky. Go, Pokeball! It shook. We got it. We got it. Archie, you came at the perfect time. Hi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I got it. Zorua, the tricky fox Pokemon. It changes into the forms of others to surprise them. Apparently, it often transforms into a silent child. There you go. We got the shiny Zorua in half an hour. I do have a backup plan. Don't worry. We got it. Okay, how long do we have left on our sandwich? 8 minutes. Let's see if we can get another then. But yeah, we did it. We actually did it. Archie, thank you for joining at such a perfect time. Oh my gosh. Wow, we did it. We got the shiny Zorua. But okay. I mean, that was an interesting shiny hunt though, right? Like we'll do a more traditional one in a second. But yeah. So that is how you get a shiny oh, hang on. Someone tripped up on my cable. That was a close call. I would have stopped streaming, but I saved my game because you got to save a game 50 bajillion times here at Beau Video Games. So hang on, is chat behind? Is chat behind again? Because I've seen one person go yo, but then I don't know if chat... Okay, so hang on. Currently it's 11:36, right? On my time. So let me know. Put in the chat as soon as you hear me say 11:36. Like put in chat right now. Like you just said 11:36. I want to know how delayed or not this chat is. Okay. So if you heard me say 11:36, let me know. I want to see how delayed or not chat is. Because if not, I gotta like sort this out. This isn't good. Okay. So yeah, just spam that chat with like you just said the 11:36. Because yeah, now I'm getting, because Xander's saying hi to Archie, Katie's saying like hell yeah, and I feel like that's way behind. I got the Zorua like 1 or 2 minutes ago now. So I think chat has gotten behind again. I think chat's got... How does chat keep getting like behind? This is why I'm like confused though. Because I'm like scrolled down as far as I can go from what I can tell. So there's no reason why like chat should be behind. Okay. And then Skywalker's going, let's go, and Andrew's like, yippee! Yeah, no, this is way delayed. There is no way you guys are like this is live. Like, there is no way that like that chat is matching. Again, normally the delay is only like 10 seconds or so. Okay. Right, my boss stuff. Okay, so, but going back to the luck thing, I will concede, that's quite lucky to get it in the first half an hour. Yeah, loads of people are, like, reacting to the shiny now, and this was, like, a couple of minutes ago. So, this is really funny. It's 11:38 now, so it's, like, 2 minutes after I'm, like, chat, as soon as you see me say 11:36, say hello. Now, you guys probably are seeing it live, but it's just my chat isn't showing me stuff live. I don't know if I can, like, reset the chat or something, though. That's the only issue. But I might have to get the chat up on my phone. Neo's like, yeah, so good. Kevin's like, yeah, there it is. Yeah, no, this is way behind. This chat... Okay, this is funny how far behind chat is. So basically, when this sandwich ends, I'll get my phone out, and I will... I'll get chat up on my phone. Crammond's like, well, it's been a good stream. See you in a few weeks. Yeah, no, don't worry. We'll stick around. Don't worry. You're not going to hear this for like 5 minutes, apparently, because of this delay. Or maybe you are hearing it. But no, don't worry. We're sticking around. I did have a backup plan. I was going to joke like we might get it on the first sandwich. I did have a backup plan. So don't worry. Oh, Kevin, Beau's joy over catching a shiny will never not be wonderful. Oh, well, thank you, Kevin. That's the thing. Even when I get shinies that I've got like a bajillion of, I'm still like fairly positive about them and stuff like that. I'm never like, oh, for goodness sake. I'm just kind of like, it's a thing. Oh my, okay, cool. Like, cool. I'll take it. Like, you know, I'm kind of, that's usually more the way I am. So, no, Archie, I'm just seeing your comment. Like, this is 100% on you. Like, I just did a whole 5-minute speech about like the mathematics and the probability and playing out the scenario and stuff like that. No, that was just all you. That you did that, Zorua. You got that, Zorua. So you girls are uni. Succession, Neo, like. Chat, stream's over. No, don't worry. It's not, though. It's not. But it's just funny. Of course, nothing will ever top the Salazzle. Nothing will ever top the Salazzle. Because just mathematically, you can't top the Salazzle. But still. Good golly gosh, though. First sandwich! Yeah, I'll bring the chat up on my phone. And then Andrew's joking, like, thanks for watching, stream's done. So yeah, I'll get chat up on my phone because I know if I look at chat on my phone, that'll be live and up to date. But yeah, I will need to. I think I'll need to go back to the old way I used to do chat. In which case, because that never failed me, but it does mean that we could get like stream crashes and stuff like that, which isn't ideal. But okay, how long do we have left on this set? Okay, 3 minutes. So we probably won't get another one, but again, we're just being greedy here. We're just trying to see, like, You know, like if Archie wants to leave and then come back again, and see if that works. But then again, Archie probably won't hear that. Actually, well, no, actually, no. You guys probably can hear me live. It's just the fact that I can't see your responses live. So, but you don't, Archie, you don't actually have to go. Please don't go. We love having Archie here. So, okay. Even at the cost of a second shiny, we want Archie to stay. Okay, so Skywatcher, 22-minute hunt. I know, awkward again. Not as awkward as Salazzle. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please go to my Shorts tab and look up the Salazzle. You will know what I'm talking about. If you never saw the Salazzle stream or short, and you don't have to watch the stream. Like, there's no need to watch the stream. Just go watch the short I made, and you will understand what happened there. Right, come on, attack it. Oh, Cram has just put 11:36. Okay, so now it's 11:42. So there is a 6-minute delay. And Xander put 11:36 as well. So there is a 6-minute delay. So yeah, I need to get chat up on my phone. So, okay, so once this sandwich runs out, I'll just get chat up on my phone and I will quickly scroll through 6 minutes of chat just to see what I have missed for 6 minutes. But then we'll do my backup plan, okay? Don't worry. And I actually have a backup plan for the backup plan, if you can believe it. So don't worry. I have a plan. I have a plan. So yeah, so that's the plan. Yeah, and then Kevin's put like 36. Skywatcher's put 36. Archie's saying like same here, like 36 past the hour, or 24 minutes until the next hour, whatever, however you want to phrase it. Whether you're a 36 minutes past, a 24 minutes to, however you want to say it. An 11:36, a 2:36. But yeah, I saw that. But I saw that the first 11:36 at 11:42. So I am 6 minutes behind. So I do not know what is going on with my chat. I don't know why my chat keeps doing this. But yeah, Neo Lovecat Mew Mew's put 36. So yeah, so if Lovecat Mew Mew is like, I did that 6 minutes ago. Oh, Bombardier. Sorry, Bombardier. You're a very cool Pokemon. But we can't be having that. We gotta get them a Bustis. We gotta see if there are any other Zoruas. Andrew's putting 7:36. Lovely to learn all your time zones, by the way. I mean, I already knew Andrew was a 7:36, but anyway, Katie put 11:37. So yeah, yeah, I don't know what to. And Shibatooth, 11:36. What did I say? I'm not necessarily learning all your time zones. Basically, you're either writing 11:36 or... Oh, there's a Sudowoodo, and it's standing perfectly still. So that means the sandwich is now finished. But see, one of the ways... So one of the fun things... Let me just look at some of these Pokemon. Sudowoodo, if it's a Zorua... So if it's not a Zorua, they stand perfectly still. Can you see how this Sudowoodo is just standing perfectly still? If it's a Zorua, they're walking around, right? They're just, like, walking around and stuff. What I said, Primeape is normally quite an angsty Pokemon that, like, see, if I run up to this Primeape, right, I'm like, hey, Primeape, hey, ugly, what are you doing, ugly? It's like, hey, don't call me ugly. He chases after you. If it's a Zorua, he runs away from you. So, like, Tropius, did Tropius go after you? Oh, well, Primeape definitely does. Is it Zorua's casting an illusion on Beau's chat? Oh my gosh, Kevin, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Can you refresh the page for your chat? Let me just check, actually. Is it... No, see, here's the thing. My chat is kind of, like, frozen as well. So, like, when I click on it, it, like, doesn't... Let me just see. Hold on. Chat. Let me just get rid of that. And then let me just see if I can get it back. Let's just see. Can I refresh this? No, it kind of, like, freezes as well. So I can't even really, like, scroll on it or anything. So, yeah, let me just get my phone. Let me just get chat up on my phone. And then we will... Yeah, I just need to be very careful with this. And then, yeah, let me just get the stream up on my phone. I'll just put it in battery saver mode so my phone doesn't lose or whatever. And then let me just hit live. and then hopefully, in theory, in-game theory, we should... Okay, it's funny because I actually can't see the chat. Where's the chat? Chat. Okay, there we go. Right, so, what browser are you using for chat curiosity? So I'm using the, like, OBS has, like, a chat dock, and that is what, I use for it, but it's not been working recently. In fact, what I could do... hang on, one thing I could do instead, in theory, in-game theory, let me just close the dock. Let me just try one other thing. Actually, having it on my phone seems to be fine, so we can just do that. But let me just catch up on, like, 6 minutes of chat. So what OBS has is OBS has a little, like, custom dock thing. And what you can do is you can, like, insert URLs of websites into it, and then you can make docs based on... And basically, so some websites and things like that can kind of optimize, you know, like a particular URL so that it works in OBS. So I've basically kind of got the, like, YouTube chat URL in OBS, but yeah, it keeps lagging behind. So, right, let me catch up on, like, 6 minutes of chat. I do apologize. So let me just see... Hold on, right, okay. Right, I'm just caught up on where the other thing was. So, and Crammon saying, could you refresh? So, and then there's Kevin's comment about the Zorua casting an illusion. So, your girls are unique. Let's see. Love Cat Mew Mew, just react to the shiny before he finds it. Love it. I am Mr. Gold. You think you missed something. Was there a shiny already? Yes, I got the shiny a few minutes ago, but my chat is delayed again. So when I got the shiny, like, no one was reacting to it. And then, like, 6 minutes later, everyone was reacting to the shiny. So, let's see. Razzle Dazzle Salazzle, Andrew says. Love it. Kevin, you're welcome for that Salazzle once again. Yes, Kevin, thank you for the Salazzle. Archie, thank you for the Zorua. And then... I am Mr. Gold. Do you remember trying this and gave up after 4 sandwiches? Oh, crud. Well, definitely try the smoked fillet, salt, and sweet, because, hey, it worked in half an hour for me. So, Archie, you'll be here for the next hour at least. Yay! Okay. And then, Neo, some chicken soup. You have no other food. That sounds like it might have been a reply to something else. Akira, hi! Welcome. So you actually just missed me getting the shiny, which is kind of crazy. So hang on, let me see. Let's see. Sorry, and again, apologies to anyone just joining in. It's like, hey, I want to see some Pokemon gameplay. I've had an issue with my chat, so I'm just catching up. And then, oh, hang on, I've got an ad on my own stream. This is why I need chat on the computer, not on the thing. So, okay, and then Andrew's saying 7:48 testing the stream. So, okay, yeah, so I don't have that chat up anymore, but yeah. And then I'm now at like 11:49, so we're about even now. Okay, so what is my backup plan, you may ask? Good question, hypothetical chat question. Oh, Persian. Persian is a very like aggro Pokemon. It will like chase after you. See, like it's like, and then it like chases after you. It's like, get away, kitty cat. But a Zorua will run away from you. So that's how you can tell your Zoruas from other stuff. Okay, so this is very distracting because I can just see I can see my game. I can see my game running on OBS and on my phone out of the corner of my eye. So I can see my game on 3 different screens right now. That's very jarring. Okay. So here we go. Our shiny little Zorua dude. Oh, I love him. Because I already have a Zoroark from Pokemon Sword and Shield, but I didn't have Zorua. I had Zorua and Zoroark from Legends Arceus, but I never had one. I never had the original Zorua in shiny. So this is really cool. Fantastic. Wonderful. So here is my backup plan, and you can actually kind of see it in action here. You can see I've got a random Poplio here, which is shiny, and a Sobble, and a Drizzile, which are also shiny. So here's my plan, chat. Let's shiny hunt to see if I can finish my shiny starter collection. Okay. Now, Admittedly, I don't have shiny Sprigatito, Fuecoco, or Quaxley, but that's just because I would need to like hatch them from eggs, and that would be very boring and slow. And there'll be a Pokemon Go community day or something, whatever. Like there'll be some way down the line to get them shiny more easily and in a more fun way. However, but you can get Sobble and Drizzile, or Sobble, shiny easy in this game, as can you Poplio. In fact, we got Sobble and Drizzile in a stream a few weeks ago, but I only got 2 of them, so I need a 3rd so I can have Inteleon. And with Poplio, I need to get another one. Now, in fairness, these are going to be in Pokemon Go in a few weeks, so let's hunt for Sobble first. But then if we do get our Sobble, we'll then switch things over to Poplio. Does that sound like a good plan? We can finish my first 8 generations of shiny starters. So that was my backup plan. So does that sound good? Does that sound fun? I hope so, because it's what we're going to do. You don't have a choice. This is my stream. But I do apologize. So hopefully that sounds good. But yes. So let's just catch up on chat for a second. Eating Cinnamon Crunch without the milk. Oh my gosh. Anyone got a freeze heal for Beau's chat? Oh, Kevin, you legend. And then, or a Dialga to put in the right time space. Very good. Very good. Chongyun's Spirit Blade was a bit too frosty, I think. Okay, so I can see Andrew's last comment, but the 748, that's the last one I can see on my phone. So let me know. It's currently 11:52, and we're about to hunt for shiny water starters. So let me know if you can hear me say that in the chat. As soon as you hear me talk about shiny water starters, and like sort of like telling you to post about 11:53, and water type starters, like put that in the chat, like the 11:53 and water type starters. Now, the one thing I can't remember, if Tenchi were here, I feel like Tenchi remembered this. It was the precise pond. There were 2 different ponds where Sobble can spawn, and I remember I went to one before we switched to another, and that's where we got our 2 Sobbles. But I can't remember which pond was which. So that could be a problem. But we'll have to find out. Okay. So we're going to save our game, because that's what we do here at Beau Video Games. We save 50 bajillion times. It's really funny, because on the stream, I can see the gameplay, like, literally seconds before I'm playing it. But I haven't seen any chat, so I don't know if just no one's posted anything in chat, or if the chat is frozen as well. But yeah, please put, like, comment 11:54, and we're about to set up a picnic for water types. Please put that in chat. Okay, and I might even just add a comment to chat. V4 and water shiny sandwich picnic. Okay, I'm about to sneeze as well, so I do apologize if I get very loud in a second. It's really annoying. OBS has been letting me down lately because I can't see my activity. I used to have like a nice little activity thing which would let me know whenever I had any Wonga. Speaking of which, if the Wonga person wants to did want that shout out, let me know. But also now that we've got this chat issue, so I don't know if I need to like switch to the other streaming software or whatever. But yeah. Because that's a bit disappointing if the chat doesn't work. Okay, right, make a sandwich. Oh, hang on, I need to check one thing, hold on. So I will just have to get rid of chat for just 1 second. Hold on. No, hold on. Okay, it's salty. Okay, good. Okay. Lovely stuff. Okay. So, right. Yeah, that's really weird. Like, no one has put anything in chat yet. Like, I can see everything live, but I don't know if the commentary is, like, way behind the visual or something. But anyway, Buck. let's see what we got here. Right, we're going to just do 1 cucumber, and then we're going to go salty, salty. And we're going to go with the silver pick, because, hey, it worked before, the Kevin pick. So. Right, we're going to do cucumber number 1, cucumber number 2, and cucumber number 3. That's in the middle enough. If you're ever making a sandwich with just one ingredient, but say it's got like several different pieces, put all the pieces to like the sides kind of thing. Like don't put any pieces in the middle. Save your final item for the middle, and then if you put that item perfectly in the middle, your bread, like where your like your marker is, where your hand is, where the top half of the sandwich will also be perfectly in the middle, so then you can just drop it straight down, and you don't have to like line up your sandwich if your previous ingredient was perfectly in the middle. So again, this is very weird. I'm not getting any chat. I haven't had any chat for several minutes. I don't know if YouTube is being weird, or OBS is being weird, or I don't know. But okay, so here we go. So I made a marker, right? Yes, okay, cool. So I should have made the sandwich a bit closer to where we need to go, but oh well, that's my mistake. Yeah, if someone could just put something in chat, anything in chat, because I think my chat's not working now. But I like don't know what's happening. Okay, so here are the sobbles. So Sobble, my poor Sobble. And the deal with Sobble is it has like a pink fin instead of yellow. This is why I don't use my phone for chat, because it means when I need to my game froze there, not the stream. It means if I need to look up something on my phone, I can do it without having to miss out on chat. But let's see. I think this was the pond, though, where we found Sobble. If anyone is like, no, this was the pond we tried out first, and then we switched to the other pond, let me know. Maybe if this shiny hunt is unsuccessful, we can try for the like other pond to get the Sobble. Okay. So, but let's see if we can get Sobble first. Just because because I only need 1 Sobble, whereas I need 2 Poplios. But luckily with Sobble and Poplio, they do each have a specific place where they appear. So that's really cool. And again, I do apologize if you are all frantically typing in chat and I am not seeing anything. I will just quickly tell you my last couple of comments I can see. So I can see Kevin say it's currently 2:46 testing if you're still on the chat. Andrew put 7:48. And I am now saying at 11:59 a.m. That I haven't seen any chat since Andrew's 7:48. So basically I haven't had any live chat for 10 minutes, even though I'm now on my phone. What I might do, actually just very quickly, in addition to getting Sobble up on my phone, I might just reload the stream on my phone, and then maybe that might work. So let's have a quick look. It says I'm live on YouTube, so... Oh, is there an audio loop? But I couldn't see any chat. Oh, for the love of Nelly. Hang on then, let's just very quickly reset that. Because now I can see new chat that hasn't come in. So hang on. Hold on, let's fix this audio loop. Oh, my OBS isn't working. Okay, there we go. Oh my gosh, why is nothing working today? There we go. Hopefully that should be the audio loop fixed. Okay, I can actually see chat now. So Crammon, we just noticed it now. You're fine. Okay, good. Kevin's getting a snack. Crammon. It wasn't. So this pond was. So when you're saying it was indeed this pond, this was the pond where we caught the 2 Sobbles, or this was the pond where we tried to catch Sobbles, and then Tenchi was like, you should go to the other one. Because the problem is there were 2 ponds. Okay. Again, yeah. Sorry, I said about the Wonga thing just because I am having issues with chat. I just wanted to make sure that they hadn't said anything. But but to my anonymous Wonga person from last week, thank you. Just thank you so much. Because again, I didn't get to say that because I didn't like know what was going on last week because I had the chat issue. But like, thank you very much, whoever you are, wherever you are. I know who you are, but whoever you are, wherever you are, thank you, because that was really kind and very generous of you, and I hugely appreciate it. Because yeah, last week I had a weird and scary week last week, and I'm sort of just trying to get back on top of things now. Sorry, the game has frozen, not the stream. I am Mr. Gold. It was one of the smaller ones. So what? Here's what we'll do. Here's the plan. Here's what our plan is. Okay. We'll hunt for sobbles in this pond. If we don't get the sobble in like half an hour, we'll go to the other pond and we'll hunt for sobble. Like that'll be the plan. And then if that pond doesn't work, we'll hunt for Poplio. And then that will probably take us to a sort of reasonably length stream. And then I won't need to go for my backup to the backup. Because I do, if we get like all these shinies on this water type sandwich, if we get all these guys in like one sandwich or something, like if we're basically done with the stream after like an hour, I do have a backup plan. I do have a backup for the backup, because I am methodical. So okay, my poor shovel. So okay. But yeah, okay, so now that we're hunting for Sobble, and now that chat seems to be working, it's 12:02. Like, let me know if you heard me say 12:02. Kevin's back from his snack attack. Okay, so, anyway, Bark. Hang on, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so for anyone who missed it last week, because we have a lot of people here today, welcome. So at the end of last week's stream, I won't go over this like as fully as I did last week. Last week I spent like 20 minutes talking about it. I'll go over it quickly. Last week I had a dental emergency. I very suddenly had to go to the dentist. I haven't been to the dentist in a long time. That was kind of part of the problem. But basically, long story short, because this is an important thing, and I want to make this clear, because basically this trip I had to the dentist last week, and what the dentist said, if I had been told what this dentist told me like in like my teenage years, I would have had a whole and completely different approach to like taking care of your teeth and like what the dentist is and what the dentist does, right? So basically 50% of people have a genetic predisposition to kind of like building up plaque on their teeth, like that sort of scale, you know, like if you go to half of you might know what I mean and half of you might not, but like if you go to the dentist and you get that sort of deep dentist clean and they get rid of like all the scale and your teeth feel like really super duper different after you have a teeth clean, because like just stuff has kind of built up on your teeth. Even if you like brush your teeth and stuff, like this still kind of happens. You're like, wow, my teeth just feel like they got rid of like all that scale and all those little like, you know. But basically, yeah, 50% of people just have a tendency to build up like a lot of scale and sort of plaque. Even people who clean their teeth a lot and stuff like that. So basically, 50% of people have this predisposition. The best way to combat it is going to your dentist like every few months and getting that deep descaling dentist clean. And if too much of this scale and plaque builds up, it wears away at your gums. It like eradicates your gums, and there's not really anything you can do about that. Like you can't like really replace gum or whatever. So, and so what that can mean is that then like your teeth can get loose or they can fall out or whatever. And that's basically what happened to me. I had like a plaque buildup on, I sort of have a plaque buildup on sort of some of my bottom teeth. And and I kind of, yeah, and it sounds like I probably am a person who's just always had a lot of a scale build up from what it sounds like based on like sort of talking about this with other people and stuff. And the problem is I hadn't been to the dentist in a long time. I moved to America, I moved around a lot when I moved here, so I like never settled down and found a dentist. And then when I did start to settle down in my life, a once-in-a-century pandemic hit where I didn't really want to go out anywhere, like without having my face covered, and that included going to a dentist. So I hadn't, and before I even moved here, I hadn't been to a dentist in a while because I was kind of like, oh, well, I'm about to move to America, so I don't want to like book a dentist appointment and then have to cancel it or whatever. So I hadn't been to a dentist in a long time, and I'm a person where I needed to go to the dentist. And if I had just known those three things, that like, hey, 50% of people need to go to the dentist every few months. You need to have that sort of that deep dentist clean, because even if you are the best of toothbrushes, which I'm not going to pretend I am. I just want to make that clear. But the thing was, it sounds like even if I was the best of toothbrushes, it kind of sounds like if I, just give enough time of not going to the dentist, not getting that deep descaling dentist clean, it means that like you can't, it means that, it's going to bite you in the bum and then kind of result in your teeth not being so good. And the thing with the dentist, though, is, and I'll put this another way with the dentist, right? I always thought the dentist was like a bit of a, if you like have real problems kind of thing with your teeth, the dentist will sort them out. If you have some early sign of a serious problem, the dentist will sort you out. But I viewed going to the dentist kind of more similar to like going to the optician, right? Or the optometrist. I thought, like, imagine if, right, one day you were watching a stream of someone shiny hunting for Pokemon, and they said, guys, make sure you go to the opticians like once every like 6 months to a year. Because if you don't, like 50% of people can just like have their eyeballs fall out. That's basically what last week was like for me going to the dentist. Like, oh, I didn't know that. I would have like, whereas I thought the dentist, like, I've never really had like toothache or anything. I don't really have, I have like one kind of sensitive tooth, like to cold, but it doesn't really get sensitive otherwise. So my teeth have kind of seemingly always been kind of healthy. It's only once I had this slightly wobbly tooth that got a bit sensitive, like with regards to like actually like biting on things, not just on like hot, like cold stuff, where I was like, I probably need to see a dentist soon. So then when I had this issue last week, I was like, yeah, I've got the wobbly tooth, I better go see a dentist. And then this dentist was like, yeah, you've got this like problem that like, 50% of people are like super susceptible to, and we'll like get rid of the plaque and stuff like that, but it means you're gonna like lose a tooth. So that's what kind of was going on in my life last weekend. And basically, sort of in the latter part of May, right before my second stream of this new project I've been excited about, or at least when that would be due to happen, I will be like getting all of this like scale and plaque removed, but it does mean that like this sort of tooth where like the gum has been eradicated, like sort of around my bottom front teeth, and so I'm basically, once they clean out this like sort of this like plaque buildup, it means that like the tooth is gonna just like fall out, because like it'll be like the only thing that will be holding it will be the gum, not the gum and plaque. So yeah, so do brush your teeth and stuff like that, but do realize that like 50% of you out there, like even if you do brush and you think you're good at brushing, like go to the dentist, because you need that deep dentist clean. And that's what that's what I am finding out the hard way. Because again, I've heard people who are like, my teeth hurt, and like get sensitive and and all this stuff, and it's like, well, I don't have that. Like mine is just a bit yellow from like an English childhood of being forced to drink tea. That was really the only problem I had with my teeth. Like my teeth have never really given me any problem, so I thought I was fine. But it kind of turns out that like, no, until I had this like wobbly tooth, then I was like, oh crud, I've got a problem now. But that's why I have the wobbly tooth, because I hadn't been going to the dentist and getting that deep clean. So if you take anything away from this stream, it's not that you can get a shiny Zorua in less than 30 minutes. It's that please do go to the dentist like at least every 6 months, and if you do have a lot of that scale build up, if you suspect, if every time, if you think you are good at brushing your teeth, if you go every 6 months and you have like a lot of scale build up every single time you go, it probably means you need to go every 3 months, which is what I'm probably going to have to do now. So that's like my warning for today. That's what I found out the hard way last week. And yeah, basically in like a month from now, I will be going back to the dentist, and basically I'll more than likely, like 99% chance or whatever, like lose a tooth, which is very sad. I'm a bit young to be losing a tooth, but hey, I'd rather lose one now and learn this lesson for the rest of my life and like understand what like the dentist actually is and what the dentist actually does. Because again, I thought the dentist was a bit more like the optician. Like everyone I know doesn't go to the optician when they should. Everyone I know who has ever needed a pair of glasses has let their vision get kind of a bit blurry, and they're like, ooh, my vision's a bit blurry, but I'll power on. And they keep going, and they keep going, and then their vision gets worse, and they're like, okay, I need glasses. And then even when they get glasses, they try to not wear their glasses. But eventually, they relent, and they wear their glasses, or they get contacts, or whatever. Like, but that's what I thought the dentist was. I was like, look, I brush my teeth. I don't have any, like, sort of pain or problems or anything, like, with my teeth. My teeth don't cause me any harm, you know? So I was like, as long as I sort of brush and stuff like that, and I just make sure I kind of, you know, make sure I don't eat foods that linger around in my teeth and stuff like that, I should be fine. And I don't eat, like, too much sugar or anything like that. But again, like, I needed that deep dentist clean, like, and I found that out now. So let that be my lesson to those of you out there. Yeah, please do just go to the dentist like every 6 months. Definitely don't leave it longer than a year. And that maybe if you're a person where even if you go every 6 months and like that deep clean is like really something, try and go like every 3 or 4. You know, so that's my recommendation for you. But and then also as well, the dentist, and then basically the other thing that was sort of, you know, annoying about it, or like kind of scary, is that the sort of the appointment that I had, the emergency appointment I had, and then the sort of process that I'll do in a month from now, all of that, like those two things combined, will cost $1,800, so it's $1,800. So quite a lot of money. Luckily, I booked a gig for like this week and the week we just had, and then next week. And that will kind of just about cover it, funnily enough, like very conveniently. But it's like, but I'm also, you know, busy for the next 2 weeks. So I'm not going to be working. In addition to not being able to stream for 2 weeks, I'm not going to be able to work for 2 weeks. The reason why I'm not streaming is separate from the tooth thing. The tooth thing just came along at a horrendous time. Hang on, how long do we have left on this sandwich? Okay, so we're halfway through. Come on, little Sobble. Where are you? Come on, shiny Sobble. That's not a shiny... Hang on. That's just the sunlight, isn't it? Yeah, that's just the sunlight. Okay. Hang on. Oh, no. Sorry, that Fennekin was the same color as a shiny Litleo, and I was like, what? But no, okay. Sorry. Got very excited for, like, getting a random shiny that wasn't the one I'm hunting for there. Some people... Oh, hang on. Some people just put 103. Hang on. So I'm now saying 12:14. It is 12:14. Let me know when you hear me say 12:14. Otherwise, I have a real problem with chat here today. But yeah, so luckily it does seem you guys are hearing me live. It's just for whatever reason, the chat just keeps getting really desynced. And I'm guessing, actually, if the YouTube chat is getting desynced, then maybe this means it's a YouTube problem and not an OBS problem. Like, maybe OBS is just showing me the lagged feed that YouTube is feeding it, you know? Like maybe YouTube is just feeding OBS a very slow and behind chat. So okay, so we'll have to figure that out. But yeah, 12:14. Let me know when it's 12:14. The last comment I can see right now, so it's 12:15. Okay, just turned 12:15, and the last chat I can see is Kevin saying it's a good thing dentistry is so affordable in this country, very sarcastically with the upside down face, which has kind of become a mark of like smiling sarcasm. But yeah, so unfortunately my dentist emergency will be expensive. But again, if this one incident teaches me a lesson that I will take forward for the rest of my life, then yay, I will happily accept that. I tell you what I'm going to do. We're halfway through this sandwich. I am going to reset this stream. And then I'm going to see if this like resets the chat. Yeah, there we go. Yep, it's all... Yeah, I can see... Yeah, there we go. Okay, so hang on. Let me just scroll back. Oh, audio loop. No. Okay, every time the chat freezes, I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna like just do the audio loop fix or something. So okay, hang on. Right. So there's Kevin's sarcastic comment. And then we'll get... Okay, so that should fix the audio loop. Let's see. Neo, your gums are always swollen. Yeah, and if your teeth are sensitive when you hurt eating sweets or cold stuff, yeah, please go see a dentist, Neo. I know it might be scary or something, and if you're like, oh, I'm worried it might hurt or whatever, it's gonna hurt down the line later on. It will be a bajillion... Like, the thing I'm having done now, like, probably isn't really gonna hurt or anything, but it's because I'm doing it now. Even though I'm already doing it too late, I'm doing it late enough that it should be okay, kind of thing. So let's see. Kevin, brushing your teeth is a pain because dexterity is non-existent. Still do your best, though. Maybe you could ask... If you... Again... I also found out my dentist in England probably never was really that great, no offense, is the thing I'm kind of learning. Same with my optometrist a little bit too, but that's a whole other story. So let's see. Why, Akira, why are you calling me out like this? I need new glasses. But that's what I mean. But like, here's the thing. It's not good to let your eyes get worse than they should do with like blurriness, but you can like kind of get away with it. But with your teeth, I'm finding out now, it's like, no, you can't. So, so let's see. Every time you think of the dentist now, you think of Johnny Depp, Willy Wonka. Okay. Yeah, the YouTube shoot's getting like way behind. Oh, Joel, hello, welcome. Joel is like, you're British. Yes, I am. I am from England originally. So if you know me as like Chong Yun or Bashara, like Chong Yun in Genshin Impact or Bashara in Beyblade or anything like that, I'm just doing an American accent for those roles. It's not my natural voice. But let's see. So hopefully, Xander, somehow you managed to be the only one in your family who doesn't need glasses. So Xander, without getting too personal, what is your like instead of your parental lineage, what's your grandparental lineage like? Do you know if any of your grandparents needed or not needed glasses? Because maybe you get something from like a grandparent or something like that, and maybe that's why you don't need glasses. Because usually, like, if both your parents need glasses, you need glasses. That's normally how it works. So here's the funny thing, right? So when you're younger, like when you're young, like when you're a child, like no one wears glasses. Like hardly any kids wear glasses, like relatively speaking, right? Compared to what I'm about to say, compared to the comparison I'm about to make. But once you're an adult, like most adults I know need glasses or have contacts or have had laser eye surgery or something. I could hardly name anyone in my friend circles here, like in LA, who like doesn't need glasses for something, right? Like, and I'm not trying to throw shade at people. That's the exact opposite of what I'm trying to get at here. That basically, when you're like a kid, the idea of like having to wear glasses feels like some kind of weakness, some kind of failure, because like hardly any kids wear glasses, right? But it's like once you hit like your teenage years, though, one thing my optician in England did say back in the day, and this was interesting and something I'd never heard before, but she said that like, oh, your eyesight can kind of correspond and correlate to like having a growth spurt. So I was like a very short kid, but I always knew I would be a tall adult one day. And then like once I had my growth spurt in like my later sort of teenage years, bada bing, bada boom, there it was. Like my eyesight went downhill atrociously. Like, and I do think that those two things were pretty correlated. Like the rate at which I went from being short to tall was like no time at all. As my eyesight went from like perfect to, well, my left eye's always been lazy, but like my actual like eyesight was fine. But then it all just went downhill very quickly, and like every 6 months I needed a new pair of glasses because like just everything got blurry again. It's like, yeah, like your eyesight's a bit blurry, you kind of need a new prescription. But then after a couple of years, then it finally stopped, and then I didn't need new glasses for like years. So, but that's like a weird thing about glasses, yeah, like, but that's the thing. So because it's sort of seen as like this sign of weakness or whatever, or because you're so used to not having glasses, we kind of like get blurry vision, and we're like, no, it's, you kind of don't notice it's blurry at first, and then you kind of start to notice it's a bit blurry, but you sort of think that's normal. You think, no, my eyesight's always been like this, and then your eyesight gets blurrier, and you're like, oh, maybe this isn't right. Maybe I do need to like go to the optician. Maybe I do need to get glasses. And then you go, and they're like, yep, you need glasses. And then you get glasses, but then you don't wear those glasses as much as you sort of simultaneously are like, these glasses are a miracle, like I can see again. But then you're like, I don't want to wear my glasses, or I don't need my glasses, or I shouldn't. You don't wear them as much as you should do. You know, there were like people waving at me, and I couldn't like tell who they were. So I'd like wear my glasses. I'd wear my glasses like in class, but then people would like wave, but I wouldn't wear them like in the hallway, and people would like wave to me in the hallway, and I wouldn't know who they were because they were blurry. And it's like, yeah, I should have been wearing them like in the hallway. And I think it was when I went to university, that was like the last time I kind of stopped taking my glasses like on and off kind of thing. I'd like take them off for meals, but then even that just felt kind of stupid, and I was like, I'm just gonna leave my glasses on all the time now. And that's, you know, and that's when I just started wearing my glasses. And I finally like just accepted it after a couple of years. After about like 3 years of like, I can take my glasses on and off, or I don't always need my glasses, or my eyesight's not like that bad. It's like, yes, it is. Just accept it. But again, like your eyeballs aren't going to fall out, but like, you know. But speaking of that, so because I'm getting this dentist stuff done, I was like, right, I've been in America for 6 years. I've never done anything regarding going to the doctor and stuff like that, except for having my immigration medical exam, because you need to have like an immigration medical exam. And that came back clean and healthy and stuff like that. But it's like my eye has gotten worse. I now have this tooth issue, which I didn't have. And I've been having the acid reflux stomach issue. So it's like, I think I need, you know, so I was saying last week, I think I need to go to a doctor and ask some questions about like what's been going on kind of thing. I need to get the eye sorted, and whatever. So I've got the ball rolling now on the eye sorted. Like once I'm free again and I'm back, I've got a doctor's appointment all lined up for when I'm not busy, and then I'm very annoyed at how we haven't found Sobbles, and we've got 8 minutes left. So come on, Miascarada. Oh, see, this is what I meant when I say your partner freezes sometimes. It's very annoying. Your partner like freezes up, and you have to like just switch partners, and it's like, but a Zoomeril's slower. I don't want a Zoomeril. I want Miascarada. Miascarada's really fast. Where's the shiny shop? Yes, Miss Wannykins. And also, hi, Miss Wannykins. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sorry, now that I've got chat working, but I'm like not looking at my chat because I'm talking about, I'm passionate about like talking about like teeth and opticians and stuff. But anyway, Buck. So, but yeah, so just please let this be, and then when I go to the doctor as well, I will try and ask about the acid reflux thing. But the weird thing about that is, for the past week or so, I've like really not had it very much, or at least not very much, compared to how bad it has been for like sort of 6 months. My stomach has felt remarkably normal for the past week or so. So I don't really know what's happening, but I will still try and ask the doctor about it when I go see them in May. But yeah, but I was kind of a bit like, okay, I have to work out how like American healthcare works and what like all this like out of pocket and like if they accept your provider and your network and what all this crazy crud means. And so I kind of begun to learn that this week, and then yeah, I've got a doctor's appointment booked for like the middle of May for that, and then in like the sort of last part of May, I'm gonna have the tooth out, and I'm just kind of finally getting my life sorted out. Hopefully, I will keep booking work and stuff like that, which means I won't need to do the Chong Yoon voice actor needs multiple surgeries live stream. But nevertheless, I do still have this big dentistry bill, so, you know, super chats and Wonga are greatly appreciated, but never necessary, and hopefully they're still not necessary. But I do appreciate the Wonga I got at the end of last week when I was talking about this, because that was very, very generous, and again, just stuff like that just gives me the faith that it's going to be alright, that you're going to be alright, okay? Azuma, why are you running away from the Sobble? Oh no, the Sobble was running away from me. That's fair. Where is this Sobble? And in fairness, I probably should bring up what a Sobble looks like on my phone or my tablet or something, because they're not the most wildly different thing, but they have like a pink fin on their head instead of yellow, so I feel like I would be able to see that, because you do need to run up close to them because their fin doesn't always load in, or you can look at them at like a weird angle, like a weird front-on angle where you can't see the fin. But outside of that, though, you should be good. So, hang on. What I'm just going to very quickly do, I'm just going to very quickly catch up on my chat for a sec, because I just want to make sure that I haven't missed anyone. Because yeah, I saw Joel's comment, and then I saw Xander's. I realized I didn't look back once. See, Archie, you have bad teeth due to your diabetes. It's been a pain. You have a lot of dental issues that someone twice your age would have. That's what I mean. Like, that's a thing I just want to say as well, with regards to both your eyes, because that's why I say the thing about like your eyesight and like how like everyone I know like needs a pair of glasses or something. And I honestly think like with teeth as well, like my dentist back in England kind of, again, I always thought that like if you had teeth issues, it was because you ate too much sugar and stuff like that and you didn't brush your teeth. And again, I was never the best teeth brusher. I have not always brushed my teeth twice per day, and there have been times in my life where I've not even brushed it once. I hold my hand up to that. But because I hated toothpaste and it made me lose my appetite, and I've struggled with being underweight my whole life. So it's like, do I want to eat or do I want to like have good teeth? And it's like, well, what's the point in having good teeth if you're underweight and like wasting away into nothing? But nevertheless, there have been times where I have been like good with brushing my teeth. And I remember one time I went to my dentist and I'd been brushing my teeth really, really well for a long time. I had a good run. I was like, this has been a good 6 months. This has been a good 6 months. And he still had to do like the deep scale removing clean. And I felt so disappointed, and I remember he was still a bit like, your teeth like need a good clean or whatever kind of thing. And if he had just said, like my guy said last week, like, hey, 50% of people just get more of a build up and a dirt, and it doesn't like, and that's like not your fault, I would have had a totally different attitude. Whereas I was just kind of like, what? But I thought I was like doing a good job, and so if you do have bad teeth, it's not necessarily your fault. I'm not blaming you or anything, but what I am saying is just do your best, and please make sure you go to the dentist, okay? So Joel follows up on the accent thing. You have really good accents. Like, I thought Bede in Pokemon Masters was a very convincing accent, and Chongyun wasn't. Oh, Joel, thank you so much. That's so lovely of you. That is exactly what I hope for and I aspire for. When I do my work and stuff like that people don't know. In fact, I'll talk about Beyblade in a minute. But But let's see, Skywatcher, you've worn glasses since you were like 10ish, and that's not your fault, Skywatcher. You didn't do anything wrong. Like, if you have bad eyesight, that's not your fault. It's just what happens to human beings. Kevin, as a kid, you were worried about needing glasses would make you stand out. Fortunately, that was no longer a concern once you learned you're autistic. Lol. I suppose that's a good point. Xander, you've considered wearing fake ones sometimes. See, here's the funny thing. Even if I got laser surgery, I would still need glasses, and the reason why is because my eyes are like really sensitive to sunlight, and so I have transitions lenses, and like I could not go outside without having transitions lenses, or like a pair of shades on hand at all time. But the easiest way to like, you know, like, oh, did I remember to bring my shades, is to just have something sitting on your face the whole time. But if I ever get like laser surgery on my eyes someday or something, I will still wear a pair of just like no prescription transitions glasses, because I need them if I go outside. Like if I like, oh, I need to go outside, I need to have those glasses. Blurry vision is what got Archie their diabetes diagnosis. Whoa. So yeah, Miss Wannikins, hi, sorry that I missed you when you first came into chat. Neo, you only wear your glasses when you're going outside, but at home you don't. That's fair enough. Oh, your girls are unique. You fell off doing eye exercises and the issue got worse. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a bit like that BoJack Horseman thing, isn't it? Where it's like, it does get easier. The hard part is doing it every day, but it does get easier. And that's true with like all these things. This game's lighting keeps making me think all these sobbles are shiny. Luckily, I don't have that issue because I'm looking out for the pink fin, but still, I am worried about that too. Let's see. Oh, Joel asks a good question about so hang on, I'll talk about Beyblade in a second, which Lexi will be thrilled about, and then Joel, if I don't answer your question in a minute, just ask me again, okay? Like I'll get back to the gameplay in a minute. But I just want to go through the rest of chat because I think my chat may have got behind again or something. But I will answer that question in a sec because that's a really good question. Because you're playing your main playthrough where you can finally play Indigo Disc, and you're looking for a 5th member of your team. Any Gen 9 Pokemon you suggest. So I will get to that in a second. Let's see. Kevin, always hoping you get more work because you love hearing my voice. Oh, that's very kind. Does Americans use Wonga? No, Wonga's a very British phrase, Andrews. That's why I like it, because it's like people won't know. It's like Wonga. People won't know what I'm talking about. Andrew, your teeth issues because you needed braces and there were gaps in your gums. Exactly, like that's not your fault, you know. But you just kind of try and do, the best with what you've got to work with, and then you'll talk about your eye surgery in a second. Cool. So I'll talk about Beyblade in a sec, but I'll answer Joel's question. So I don't know what your team looks like. I don't know what starter you picked or anything like that. But Gen 9 does have a lot of very cool Pokemon. One Pokemon that is very so there are a bunch of, so I'm going to just list off a bunch of Gen 9 Pokemon that are very cool for various different reasons. I'm going to assume, because you're talking about a 5th member of your team, I will assume you are still in the middle of all your gym challenges and stuff like that. So I won't talk about any of the like Paradox Pokemon or anything like that. But a Pokemon I really like that I think is really cool is Espathra. The psychic type. I think it's the evolved form of Flittle. I think Espathra is a fantastic Pokemon. It has 2 really good and really interesting abilities. One of them is Speed Boost, so it will get a Speed Boost at the end of every turn. The other is Opportunist, which is where if your opponent boosts their stats, you get a boost in those stats as well. So you like copy their stat boosts. So it means that if a Pokemon's ever trying to like boost up against you, you will be boosting up against them. And so 2 really fun moves to teach in Espathra are, it has a signature move called Lumina Crash that is 80 base power, and it lowers the opponent's special defense by 2 stages. So that halves your opponent's special defense. So if you just like keep using Lumina Crash over and over and over, you're doing this quite powerful attack that then is like weakening and weakening and weakening and weakening your opponent. The other move that is very good for Espathra is Stored Power, which is another Psychic type move. Basically, it's only 20 base power, but for every single stat boost you gain, the Stored Power move gains a 20 base power boost. So, for example, if you had an Espathra with Speed Boost, on your first turn, Stored Power would be 20 base power. After 2 turns, Stored Power would be 60 base power. After 2... So, like, initially, it would only be 20 base power. But after your first turn, you get a speed boost. It goes up to 40 base power. After 2 turns, it will go up to 60 base power. 3 turns, 80. 4 turns, 100, right? But, so if you mix that with, like, Calm Mind... So if you had an Espathra with the speed boost ability, and you gave it Calm Mind, Lumina Crash, and Stored Power... you would have a very powerful Pokemon. Now, I know it would only know, like, Psychic-type moves, but that's just, like, a very powerful thing to have. So, like, if you spent the first turn doing a Calm Mind, right? So you get a boost in Special Attack and Special Defense, that would actually boost your Stored Power to 60, right? And then you would get your Speed Boost, which would boost the power to 80, right? So if you did Calm Mind on turn 1... Lumina Crash on turn 2, and then Stored Power on turn 3, what you have is, on turn 1, you get the boost to, like, your Special Attack and Special Defense, but then what you get is, on turn 2, you use Lumina Crash, which is quite a powerful move, and then it will reduce your opponent's Special Defense, right? And then on turn 3, you will hit your opponent with a Stored Power, which will be even more powerful than the Lumina Crash you just did, and even more powerful because you just lowered their Special Defense. So, like, you basically, in, like, 3 turns, you've, like, set up. Like, you've won. So you can basically, like, beat a lot of Pokemon in, like, 3 turns. And that's even if you need 3 turns, because if you're against, like, a poison type and you're super effective, you can probably wipe it out in, like, 1 Lumina Crash. But this is basically the point I'm getting at. You can, like, go in against something that you're super effective against, and then, once you beat it, they'll try and send in something that they think is, like, good against you, or is neutral against you, or whatever. But then, you can just keep attacking, and you'll get all these stat boosts, and your Stored Power will get, like, more and more powerful. It's very, very good. What's another fun Pokemon? Annihilate is really good. Annihilate is fantastic. If you don't have an Annihilate, they are really fun to use. If you give Annihilate the move Rage Fist, which is its signature move, that's a move which it's base power 50, but the power goes up by 50 every time you get hit. So if you use the move, it's base power 50, then your opponent hits you, you now have a 100 base power move. You then do that sort of thing, keep attacking Pokemon. If any of them hit you, you then go up to base power 150, 200, 250. I think it caps out at 350. If it's not 350, then it's like 250. But yeah, it's insane. So you can probably sort of tell a bit of a theme to the Pokemon I'm recommending here. They're Pokemon that are like, they sort of can just like stack up and stack up and stack up their stats and just get like really, really busted. So, hold on, let's just see, Joel. You've currently got Meowscarada, Armarouge, Farigiraf, Porma. Oh, so you do have Farigiraf, so you probably don't really need the Espathra, but the Annihilate could be a good suggestion. Oh, although you do have Pormot as well. Let's see. Zana just put Angry Monk or Monker. Tinkerton is quite strong. Yeah, Tinkerton's an interesting choice for sure. Clodsire is a good choice. Although Clodsire is like very defensive and stuff. That's the one thing I'll say. Clodsire is good at just like giving your opponent status moves. That's what my Clodsire is for. So Bellybolt's pretty good in a bulky attacking. Oh, did our sandwich end? Our sandwich ended. Oh dear. Okay, we have to reset and try again. So Belly Bolt is like a good bulky attacker. If you have the Electromorphosis ability or whatever it's called, I can't remember the name of the ability, but it's the one that's not static. Um, if you have a Belly Bolt with that ability and Parabolic Charge, that's quite a good combination. Your opponent hits you, it powers up your next electric attack. You then use Parabolic Charge, which will be powered up because of your ability, and then you also heal off like half the damage you deal out. So that's like a pretty good strategy. Let me just check my other Pokemon very quickly. And we'll find this other pond as well, because we didn't find a Sobble. Which probably means we don't need to do the backup for the backup. Let's see who we got. King Gambit is fantastic. With that Defiant ability, it's really good. It basically means you can't get an attack stat drop. Baxcalibur is really strong. Dragon Dance plus Glaive Rush is insane. And if you have, my one there has a Shell Bell. If you have a Baxcalibur with, I don't know if I have a different Baxcalibur. If you have a Baxcalibur with the, yeah, I don't, okay, maybe that's in my Pokemon Violet. I have my other Baxcalibur. If you have one with the dice, I forgot what it's called now. The skill dice or whatever, the thing that boosts multi-hit moves. If you have that with Icicle Crash, it guarantees 4 or 5 hits of Icicle Spear. If you can get your 4 or 5 hits of Icicle Spear, that's a really good combination. Appleton is just really fun bulk, but you said you had Meowscarada. Belly Drum Titan is fun. Ursaluna, traded an Ursaluna from Legends Arceus. You can have a lot of fun with that. Zoroark is fun, going back to the theme of this stream. So yeah, there are a lot of good Pokemon out there. Dragapult is a really good dragon type. If you didn't use one in Pokemon Sword and Shield, it's a fantastic dragon ghost type. Could complement your sort of psychic and fighting types and dark types well. And then a bunch of these are things you kind of we've already kind of talked about and stuff like that. So hopefully that kind of helps. I know I didn't recommend a whole load of Gen 9 Pokemon. But yeah, those are just a few. Orthworm can be bulky and can tank ground type moves. That's kind of cool. Tatsugiri's cool, but it is only really good if you have Dondozo with it and you do double battles. So, okay, so let's find this other pond. That's just a pond. A Sobble pond. Was it this one? I'm going to go to this one, and we'll see if this pond has Sobbles in it. Actually, no, what? Hang on, I know a better way to figure this out. Hold on. We go on the Pokedex, and then we look up Sobble here, and then the game will hopefully tell us which ponds it's in. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So we'll try this other pond. We'll see if this other pond works, and then we'll take it from there. Okay. So I hope that helps, Joel. Again, sorry, I could have checked through the Pokedex there and looked through other Pokemon. If we go past any fun Pokemon, I will, recommend them or whatever. But you did say Gen 9 ones. I'm just trying to think of other Gen 9 stuff that's cool, but that's, say, not a Paradox Pokemon. There are a lot of good Paradox Pokemon that could be really good ways to round out your team. But again, if you're after like a Gen 9 specific, because obviously I could be like, oh, Crocodile is a fantastic Pokemon. I love Crocodile. But you did say Gen 9, so... okay. But no, let me just say about Beyblade, because it's really funny. So when I was on Beyblade Burst Quad Drive, we recorded it a little while before it came out, right? I mean, that's kind of how you work on shows. You kind of get ahead of the game a bit and stuff like that. Animated stuff takes a while to come out. So we were recording on that show, and I had been able to listen to a few voices, and I was able to sort of recognize like a couple of my friends who were going to be in the show, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so and so. Oh, that's so cool that we're going to be in the show together and stuff like that, right? But it's really funny when eventually the show did come out and we were allowed to announce it and like reveal all of our selves to one another. I had oh, this is like a really big pond. Oh, so that okay, yeah. So that Kramen was I know Kramen did say this, but that smaller pond was where we did get Sobble because yeah, this is like the massive pond, but we ended up going to the smaller pond because that ended up working better. So, but we'll give this pond a go and we'll see how it goes. We'll try this pond, and then if this pond doesn't work, we'll try and get Poplio, and then we'll go back to Sobble once we do that kind of thing. So we have our plan. We only need one Sobble, though. So, okay. So, what did we want here? We wanted cucumber, and it was salty, right? Like, salt? Oh, and I'm gonna put a gold pick because the silver pick didn't work. I'm sorry, Kevin, but we need to upgrade to gold today. We need the Kevin Plus pick. We need first place Kevin today, not second place Kevin. Okay, so there's the gold pick, which I believe they made for the film Gold Finger. Joel, one thing you can say is you like using Pokemon that you don't usually see on playthrough teams, Mousehold, Tauros, but don't let random Pokemon team take over the stream. No, that's okay. Yeah, I'll have a think if there are any interesting Gen 9 Pokemon that people may not use, but that like are useful and have utility. I don't think Spidops or like Mabostiff are really going to help you out. I like Veluza. I think Veluza's a cool Pokemon, but you do already have Armarouge for like Psychic type. Sparkling, Tidal, Water. Okay. So let's see if we can find some Sobbles in this here pond. Let's see. Sobble. All right. Oh, there's a Sobble. Okay. Okay, so we'll see if we can find Sobbles here. We'll get the old Meowscarada going. And then, and see how that works. But yeah, I think that Sobble doesn't spawn as much here. And I think that is why we did go to that other pond. Because even though this pond is massive, it's like, look how few Sobbles are spawning. And in fact, actually, if not many Sobbles do spawn, we will just switch over the ponds anyway. But look, we're getting a few more now, so it seems to be working. This seems to be working fine and fair enough. But yeah, if we don't get many Sobbles spawning, then at least we have the backup option of the other pond. But yeah, I think I remember now. This was the one we went to first, right? Because it was like, oh, this is the bigger pond, so we should be able to like spawn in way more Sobbles. Oh, hang on. No, that's yellow. No, these are all regular Sobbles. We got to get. Oh, so chat. How about in chat to wish me good luck? How about, so for emojis, right? You got to spam the chat with emojis. Sorry, my game has frozen. That's not the stream. How about we do, oh, Skywatcher, you're gonna leave. Well, thank you so much for joining. Hopefully I'll see you in a few weeks once I'm back and streaming again. My big exciting new project, which I may or may not be doing because it depends on how my tooth is doing. But hopefully we'll be doing that, and that'll all be good. So, no, Kevin, no, everyone, people don't all leave you in the end. Don't say that's negative, Kevin. Don't say that for yourself. I know you were only joking, but you know, don't like manifest the jokes. Sorry, the game is just being laggy. That's not me. Well, that's not the stream. This is really laggy. It's not even raining. Like, normally the game gets laggy when it's, like, raining. Does it get better if I go on Koraidon? No, not really. Okay. Anyway, Bark. Sorry, so I'll get to the Beyblade story, and then I'll think back to any Gen 9 Pokemon, just because I did promise Lexi I would talk about Beyblade. And plus, this is kind of a funny story. So, yeah. So, I had been hearing people. I had worked out a couple of people. I'd kind of worked out, like, most of the people who I had been able to kind of hear in my headphones. But, you know, and then eventually, you know, the show came out. Yeah, so the show came out, I think was that December 2021, I want to say. And so finally, like, names came out in the credits and stuff like that. And it was so funny. I had woken up like really early in the morning that morning because I was aware the show was on. It premiered at like 8:30 a.m. or something. But in America, you've got all the different time zones. So like, or maybe it was even like 7:30. I think we're back. We're back. Okay, sweet. Again, my computer like turned off, so I don't really know why the stream like still keeps going and allows me to continue it. But hey ho, Ben's not here. Okay, so I can't see my chat again. My chat has, so I will need to just rely on my phone for chat. But yeah, don't know what happened there. Do apologize for that. Again, just, I don't know, man. Let's shiny hunt. Don't worry, I haven't done anything. Beyblade. So we'd recorded the show. We've been recording the show. The premiere happened. It was premiering at like 7:30 a.m. Eastern, which is like 4:30 a.m. Like LA time. I was really like, nervous and excited. I was like really nervous and excited. So I wake up at like 4:40 a.m. So about like 10 minutes into the episode or whatever, and I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be like 10 minutes into the episode, and I see that I like have messages or something, and then I can't remember what happened, but basically I saw I like had messages or something, and then I had a message from Michelle Marie, who plays my sister Hannah, and she was like, "Bro, are you Bashara?" And I was like, yes, I am. And then so we're finally able to like talk about it. And then, oh, shiny! Hey, the stream worked. Okay, I'll take it. There we go. This is my reward for the stream crashing. Yes, all right. Yes, all right. But again, I did see a comment about like the gods not wanting me to talk about Beyblade. And it's like I'm finally talking about it, and then like the stream's not working. Or like, but then I get the shine. Okay. So hold on a sec. This is going to be a little bit tricky. A little bit stubborn. Oh hey, the switching comms work. We did it. Okay. So it's volume. No. Can you hear me? No. Oh. There we go. You can hear me now, right? Right. You can hear me now, right? Right. Right. Hopefully you can hear me. Sorry if there was like a painful noise before you could hear me, but you should be able to hear me now. I know what happened. I'll tell you what happened in a second. Okay, sorry. So I'll have to go back. I was telling the Beyblade story, but like, but that means you didn't hear any of the Beyblade story, which means I got to go back and talk about the Beyblade story. Oh, for the love of Nelly. No! Watch, you'll get poisoned here. It's gonna get poisoned. Oh, it didn't get poisoned. Okay. Okay, sorry. I'll explain what happened with the microphone in a second. I know what happened. I guess I need to be aware of that if I ever have to reset the computer. But anyway, Beyblade story. We're telling the Beyblade story for Lexi. Yay, we got it as well. Okay, so the show was premiering at like 7:30 a.m. Eastern, which was 4:30 a.m. Los Angeles time. I was really excited and nervous for the show. So I like woke up at like just naturally at like 4:40 a.m. my time. And I remember looking at my clock and being like, oh gosh, it's like 10 minutes into the show and stuff like that. No, like potentially and stuff like that. And then I can't really remember what happened, but basically after some time or after a little bit of time or during that time, I like had some messages or I had a message and it was from Michelle Marie, who played my sister Hannah. Hang on, how long do we have left on the sandwich? 22 minutes. Okay, that was very quick. Right, we only needed one Sobble, so let's go get a Poplio. Um, so, but I had a message from Michelle, and she was like, Beau, do you play Bashara? And I was like, yes, I do. And it was just so funny, like, talking to her. We were talking at, like, just really super duper early in the morning. Um, and then Michelle was like, I like, when I was like recording my stuff, I kept being able to like hear Bashara stuff. Like she did get to hear my lines and stuff like that at times in some sessions, but like she was like, but I didn't like know who it was. I like couldn't. I was trying to figure out like who is that? Is that someone I know? Is it someone I don't know? Like they sound good, but I just don't know who they are. I like them and they sound great for this character, but I don't know who they are. And it's because, like, yeah, Michelle had, like, never heard me do, hang on. That's not shiny, is it? No. Okay. But yeah, Michelle had, like, never heard me do, my American accent or anything. So she, like, didn't know, what to expect. And yeah, and didn't, like, know it was me. It was only once, like, the credits of the show came out that, she was like, is that you kind of thing and stuff like that. So, and then basically it was really funny. So we were messaging like really early in the morning, and then a bit later, but still early in the morning, I got messaging with Morgan, uh, Morgan Berry, and and then Morgan was like, sort of like, I've been hearing you in my ears, and I was wondering like who's playing Bashara. They sound really good, but I don't know who it is. And it's like, it is you, because again, Morgan hadn't heard me do sort of hadn't heard it either. Sorry, I didn't say Morgan plays Belle Dizora, the protagonist of like that series and then the next series as well. So yeah. So it was just really funny, like the two of them. So sorry, this is all going back round to Joel talking about like my accent and stuff like that, and basically, so because Joel said like you thought I was like an American just doing like a good English accent for Bede, but actually Bede is pretty much my normal voice. I'm just a bit more kind of like I just can't be bothered with anyone when I'm Bede. Like just no one is worth my time when I'm Bede, But yeah, but for like Chong Yoon and for Bashara and stuff, yeah, that's me doing an accent. And most of the work I do is like American accent. I don't do a whole lot of English stuff. I occasionally get to do an English thing, which is really cool and really fun. But I love doing the American accent stuff as well. So anyway, after all of that, after all that time, after all the computer crashes, after everything else, that hopefully will kind of like is me finally replying to Joel's comment. So thank you, if you're still there, thank you for sticking around. Yes. So I will I'll check out chat in a sec now that everything's working. Yeah, actually I'll just quickly check chat just to make sure I haven't missed anything. But yes, and yeah, and today's Morgan's birthday. Yes, of course. Sorry, I forgot. I had wished Morgan a happy birthday. But although I need to maybe text Morgan as well, actually. But yeah, it's Morgan's birthday today, so everyone go wish Morgan a happy birthday. So yeah, but that was that was the funny story of like just yeah, if people aren't used to me, if people haven't heard me like doing the sort of voices I do for the projects I do, again, because most of the stuff I do is like American accent. If no one's ever heard me do that before, they like don't really know it's me if they do hear me and stuff like that. So yeah, I've heard people be like, I didn't know that was you and stuff like that, which is always like such a nice compliment, because it's kind of like that's kind of what I'm aiming for in a way. I'm getting to a point now where my voice is recognizable enough, like, oh, you can kind of hear the like if you listen to like Trials of Mana or like Chong Yoon, like they're sort of similar enough where if I do a voice that's kind of similar to them in future, you'd be like, oh, that's Beau Bridgeland, or there might be other things you're like, oh, that's Beau Bridgeland. But for these couple of other projects, but whilst I'm sort of like still kind of early enough in my career and people are still kind of unfamiliar enough with me, it's nice that people may not recognize me, or my colleagues might not recognize me, and so on. So, yeah. Yeah, and then I did just see something that I wanted to reply to or talk about. Oh, and then the microphone. I was going to say about the microphone. So basically, this is a bit of a techie thing, but basically, if you have a microphone that plugs in via like XLR cable and not USB, like if you have to have a preamp of some kind for a mic, like so. If you don't know what a preamp is, don't worry, I don't 100% know. But basically, I think the general idea is you have a microphone, you talk into it, it like takes sound waves and does its thing. But then a preamp is basically kind of like something that you need. Oh, for the love of Nelly. See, Meowscarada's stopped attacking now. I don't know why, but it means I have to switch to a Azumarill, and Azumarill's like slower. But, okay. But the preamp is kind of like the intermediary device between, like, your microphone and, like, your recording device, like your computer. So usually a preamp will... a microphone accepts a cable called an XLR cable. It's kind of like this round cable. And so you will kind of have, like, your microphone plugged in on XLR, and then your preamp will, in one end... have the XLR, and then in the other end have something like a USB or a USB-C, and then it will go, and then, you know, that goes out and you plug in a USB into your computer, right? So basically, a preamp is basically a device you sort of plug into your microphone if your microphone is an XLR. And if your microphone is a USB microphone, or even like I think like a laptop microphone or something like that, just like the inbuilt microphone on your computer, I think basically, like there will be some kind of like preamp. It's just, you know, not done with cables or anything like that. But like you basically have like microphone, preamp, and then like the computer or recording software or whatever, right? Like that's how it works. But so if you have a USB microphone or a laptop microphone, you don't know about this. But if you've ever had like a sort of proper professional microphone, or like the one I'm sort of talking to you on, then you will be familiar with XLR cables and with preamps. So I have like a little preamp device thing here, and the thing about the little preamp devices is with, I think, like most microphones, again, a USB, because here's the thing, a USB microphone basically has a preamp like built into it kind of thing, which is why it doesn't, so it does have a preamp, it's just not like a separate box or device or whatever kind of thing. But there is kind of like a preamp kind of built into it from what I understand. But anyway, Bark, the preamp is, hang on, I will just save my game because we like to save our game 50 bajillion times here at Beau Games, and I can't remember whether I did after Sobble. But the preamp though, preamps need a thing called phantom power. And I don't really know, kind of like why mine has an on-off switch. But my little preamp thing, it has the phantom power, but there's like a button you need to press. And basically, every time I plug in my microphone into my preamp, and then I plug my preamp into the computer, I need to turn on this phantom power button. So when I look down at my little preamp, there's like a white light that comes on to show that like electricity is like running through it, that it is plugged in. But then also I need to press this tiny little button on the bottom, and it will turn on an orange light, and that's when I have the phantom power. Phantom power, here's a phantom power, phantom power. So you gotta have your phantom power. And I always do this before every stream. I did it before this stream. But when you reset the computer, it turns out that it turns the phantom power off. So that is what happened. So that's why, you know, out the corner of my eye, you know, I could see like the white light on. But then I could, you know, but I guess it was like, oh, wait a minute. There's a teeny tiny orange light. I needed to turn that on again. So that is why I did not... why you guys couldn't hear me right away. I didn't have my phantom power on, which is always an important thing. Always make sure you have your phantom power on. So yeah, there are some microphones though. I think like ribbon microphones. I can't remember sort of what they are and how they work, but they're like very sensitive, and it's like I think if you give those phantom power, it will just like electrocute the microphone and render it useless. So just if you ever get professional microphones, make sure you know what you're doing. Just like consult professionals and stuff, or learn a bit about them first. I learned a bit about this stuff ages ago, and then basically I either just use this microphone and preamp, or I am in some kind of professional setting where I already have a microphone and a preamp set up for me, so I don't need to worry about that kind of thing. So, but yeah, I didn't have phantom power. So I guess if I ever have to reset the computer, or if, I don't know, if I ever just go silent or something, it could be that something's muted, but you could always go, do you have phantom power? And you are always welcome to remind me of that. You can go, do you have phantom power? Because it is a very easy to miss thing. Like I said, it's like a teeny orange light on like the bottom of my phantom of my preamp. And like I can barely see the bottom of my preamp because like because you know, like there are cables in the way and stuff like that. So yeah. Right, hang on, how long we got left? We've got 13 minutes, okay. So, but yeah, if you want a shiny Poplio, just create a water-type sandwich and go to this beach, and it's the only Pokemon that appears. It's a very handy tip to know. I've got one shiny Poplio from an outbreak, but it would be really, 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 really cool if I could get another from just like sandwich hunting, but we'll have to see. They have a little pink scarf, which is why I kind of need to run up close to them. They're like a little bit darker, and then they have like a pink sort of thing around their necks instead of like a light blue one. You can see they've got this like light blue thing around their necks. We're looking for pink, okay? So not yellow, but pink. Okay. So, I don't know if Satella's here, but like that joke always makes me... I think Satella was kind of one of the ones to make that joke originally. I can't remember. Forgive me if someone's else like, no, I was the first one to be like, yellow, pink. Okay. Right, let's just check chat, because I'm probably going to look to chat now, and they'll be like, Beau, audio loop. Let me just check. XLR mics usually need a bit of power, so the preamp gives a way to provide power and also amplifies the audio signal so that it's strong and loud enough to be used. That's it! Thank you, Kramen. That is it, yes. I forgot you know about this stuff. But yes. I know it's kind of like, it gives like extra power, but yes. Let's see. Okay, actually, I think that's it. So, but basically, it's 1:15 p.m., quarter past, if you will. So hopefully you guys are not too far behind. Let me know what time it is in your area or for you, or if you're hearing me say 1:15 p.m. 1:15 p.m., that's when I am telling you about this message. So please comment that when you can hear me say this, like if it's quarter past for you. Or if it's not. Okay. Let's see what we got. What else we got going on in the world right now? Oh, one thing I did want to talk about. Maybe you guys have seen this, because you maybe saw it on social media. But I'll say this outside of social media as well, just because I think it's important. And because I kind of have done this thing once or twice before. I like to give important heads up when I can of when I sense like the hate train may pull into the station. It's like, what do I mean by that? And it's like, well, we live in a world where a lot of people are very angry that like more equality is coming to the world. There is more equity and equality in the world. These days we are more progressive and forward-thinking than we once were. But there are people who are stuck in the past or have been raised on hatred and who just don't understand things. And maybe they're not like horrible people, but they're just a bit behind and whatever. I don't know. But basically, it means that we do get hatred and confusion when certain things happen and people get very silly about things. And those of you who follow me on social media know that I'm about to talk about Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door HD Remake. And you'll be like, well, but if you don't know, you'll be like, well, hang on, what about Paper Mario and hatred? What? So let me explain. Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door was a game that was released on the GameCube 20 years ago. An HD remake of that game is being made for the Nintendo Switch and is coming out in about a month from now, a bit less than a month from now. And basically, I anticipate that in a month from now, we could potentially, depending on what Nintendo does or doesn't do, there could be a lot of hatred and ugly stuff online, on social media, on Twitter and the like, surrounding this game. Why could there be hatred surrounding this game, you may ask? It's because of a change that may happen between the original GameCube version and the remake. But it's also kind of not a change at the same time, which is why it's kind of confusing and stuff like that. So, let me explain. In the original Paper Mario game, and in its remake, there is a character called Vivian. Vivian is part of a trio of like 3 sisters. Vivian has like 2 older sisters who aren't very nice to her, and stuff like that. And one of the things, and again, I don't know why this happened in the first place. I don't sort of blame whatever happened in the first place. It's just a thing that happened. But basically, in the original Japanese game, Vivian was kind of at least hinted to be, because I don't understand Japanese and I haven't, I don't know the original Japanese source material. But Vivian was sort of like hinted at being, or alluded to being, or even specifically stated to be a trans character. And sort of thing, and part of like her character, like part of the 2 sisters being mean to her was a little bit of transphobia kind of thing, transphobic stuff. Again, maybe that's why it didn't get put into the English version, but the fact that any hints or alluding to Vivian being a trans character, being born one way but then changing into another, there is nothing like that at all in the English version. When I played the game growing up, I did not know this. They just say Vivian's a girl, and that's all they tell you, and that's it. Nothing else. Like, Vivian's a girl, part of 3 sisters, bada bing, bada boom, that's all you know. So, again, I don't know why this happened. In some European languages, the trans sort of aspect of the character was kept intact, was translated. But in other languages, in addition to English, it also didn't happen. I don't know why it didn't happen in some places and not in others. It's like, let's not worry about it too much. It is what it is. It was something that happened 20 years ago. But the thing that may happen, though, is that we know from like the trailers and stuff like that, that some of the text and some of the story, not the story, but like there are some small like changes in the text and stuff like that in the game. We've seen that from the trailers. Like if you compare the original game, it's like, oh, this character said that line differently. They added a word or something. We just saw in a trailer the other day, the first boss of the game, the first like big boss of the game, a dragon called Hooktail. In the original English language version of the game, had an aversion to crickets, the insect, not the boring British sport. No, I'm kidding. Cricket's a fun sport. I like it. I played cricket. But had an aversion to the insect crickets. But in the remake, it's frogs, because this is what it was in the Japanese. In the original Japanese, it was Hooktail didn't like frogs. Hang on, why is Miascarada not attacking? Okay. But in the original English GameCube version, it was crickets. So now, the English version of the modern game is going to have Hooktail be like, oh, I don't like frogs, right? And that is a change they've made. This is a change more in line with the original Japanese. And so, if they are making changes to the game, if we factually know that they are making changes to the English language version of the game to be more in line with the Japanese, this could include Vivian in the English language version of the game being alluded to or hinted at being a trans character. And what this could result in is a load of angry, hateful, lonely people online who played this game 20 years ago and it's important to them in some way, being like, oh, Nintendo's gone woke. They've changed Vivian into a trans character and all this other nonsense. And people could get very silly about this, okay? And I don't really need to explain that because you guys know how the internet and social media works. Like, you're young, you're savvy, you get it. But I want to give this important heads up that in less than a month from now, we could have a situation where Nintendo has, in terms of the language, made this sort of change to Vivian so that it's more in line with the Japanese. And that it will kind of like affirm Vivian being a trans character. It's not really changing Vivian being a trans character, it's just kind of like, you know, affirming that, like, yes, this is what it kind of always was. Now again, they might not do this because it also means, like, because by having Vivian be a trans character in the game, it might also mean you have to include a bunch of transphobia being included in the game. So they might not do this. That's a possibility. Or they might sort of really try and dance around it in a way such that, like, Vivian is a trans character, but the other characters aren't mocking of her for being trans or anything like that, lessening her value as a trans character. But I say all this because in a month from now, there could... I don't really get a lot of ugly stuff on social media because I just follow, like, I limit my following. I don't see stuff from people who I don't follow. So my Twitter is, like, very clean, even after Musk taking it over. My spamminess comes from, like, the adverts I see and stuff like that. And a couple of those, like, you know, in bio replies you get. But in terms of, like, seeing stuff just come up on my feed, that's not a thing for me. But it might be for you. And if you are trans, or if you have trans friends, if you have, like, trans Nintendo fan friends, if there are people who you follow who are, like, say, like, oh, I follow this trans gamer on Twitch who loves Nintendo, just be aware that, like, in a month from now, there could be, like, a bunch of ugliness, people being really stupid and dumb and annoying. And I just want to let people know, like, just heads up, there could be a storm coming. It might not. You know, maybe things won't get changed. Maybe they will. Maybe people will behave themselves and not go nuts on the internet. But it's the internet. People, you know, there are going to be people who, if this change is made, there are going to be people who get upset about it. For no reason. There's not any reason to get upset or angry about this. It's like, hey, there's a lot of ugly and annoying and scary stuff out there in the world. Vivian being a trans character is not one of them. But for whatever reason, people are, you know, there are some people who are hateful. Maybe they've been taught to hate and they can be brought into the real world in the 21st century. Maybe they are just hateful, evil people who just can't be saved. But the point is that your trans friends or people who you admire who are trans could be sort of, you know, just susceptible to, like, attacks in the next few weeks, like, if they are Mario fans or whatever. And I just want to give you that heads up to just be ready to be an ally to those people in your life to whom things could be difficult in a few weeks from now. So I did a big post about this, well, a big-ish post about this on social media. I say big-ish. This waffle I've just gone on has been, like, way longer and way bigger. But I can go into more detail here than I can, like, on Twitter. So, you know, but I just want to say that. I just want to give that heads up. A while back, I gave a heads up about, like, there was, like, a rumored, like, Fantastic Four casting. Before we got the official cast, there was, like, a sort of a strong rumor of a cast where maybe there were some people who were, like, nearly in, like, final negotiations or something, and it would have included, like, a character becoming a black Jewish character, and, like, people would have got so annoyed and angry about that for no reason. There would have been nothing wrong with that change. We already kind of know that with the Fantastic Four, with the casting they've gone with, it does look like that, like, say, they are going to lean into the fact that the Thing is a Jewish character, which is something they've not really done on screen before. So again, just a heads up for your Jewish friends and stuff like that in, like, July 2025 when Fantastic Four comes out. You know, like, we're probably going to get some kind of scene or mention where it's going to be like, oh, the Thing is Jewish, and people are going to go, how dare Marvel make the Thing Jewish? And it's going to be like, no, that's stupid. That's stupid, that's hateful, what are you talking about? And, like, the thing in the comics has been Jewish for, like, decades and decades and decades. It's not a change, it's just making him the way that he's always been. And that's what this Vivian thing will be. Ooh, that one of those Poplio look kind of dark, but I don't think it's because it's shiny. I think that's just poor lighting. So, again, in a month from now, we might get Nintendo trying to make something the way that it's always been. It's like that meme of the two astronauts in space, and it's like, Vivian's a trans character, and it's like, always has been. Like, that might be, you know, oh no, an Esper. Oh, does that mean our sandwiches run out? No. Okay. But that's okay. Right, so our sandwich has finished. What time is it? 1:28. I'm actually just asking now for the sake of knowing what to do with the stream and stuff like that. Okay, so we'll keep going. We'll try and get more Poplio. We'll see if we can get our Poplio. We'll see if we can get at least one Poplio. I need 2 of them, but let's see if we can get 1, you know? But before we do that, let's just check the levels. 58, 63, 58. Okay, so hang on. You can go that way. And then which one of these is better? Ooh, I think this one's better. So we'll evolve our Sobbles quickly. And then we'll evolve our Sobbles quickly. And then we can... and then we'll hunt for more Poplio. But yeah. So hopefully my chat hasn't just... hopefully my chat isn't way behind or anything. I think my chat has got behind. Hang on, I am going to just reset my stream on my phone. Right, let's have a quick... Hang on, we'll just do this. There we go. Okay, hang on. Yeah, I think my chat froze up again, so... So there we go. We got Inteleon. So we now have the whole Sobble line in shiny form. Oh, yeah. Let's get rid of Liquidation. That's a terrible move for it. So... you saw the Toad still talks... See, that's the thing. The Toad still talks about Fire Emblem on Game Boy Advance. So it will be interesting to see what changes they make and don't make, but we know that they're changing the hooktail thing to what is more in line with the Japanese. So we just need to be ready for this and be prepared and stuff like that, okay? The time is currently 1:30, but I can tell the chat is caught up now. But yeah, chat got left behind again. So, let's see. Let's see. So Caitlin's in the UK at the minute. Very cool. But yes. Let's see. Kevin, Vivian is your favorite partner, and they'll always be amazing to you. Gender be done. Exactly. No, don't get too upset or anything, Lexi. Because again, like just take positivity in the fact that there are a lot of people who are allies and more so than there were 20 years ago. That this will be a far more accepted and welcome thing now than it would have been 20 years ago and stuff like that. So, okay. It's just because of the existence of Twitter. Yeah, Kevin, that's the thing. It's a funny thing. It's like, when you actually think to the sound of how that badge sounded, you're like, yeah, it does sound like frogs. Like, it's like, yeah, of course it's frogs. Like, your brain kind of does something maybe where you kind of like convince yourself it's crickets, but it's frogs. So, yeah. So I just wanted to give heads up about those things. Again, when I sort of see a potential, like, guys, heads up, there's this thing that's happening, and people are going to get angry about it online, and it's very stupid that they're going to get upset about it online, but, like, here we are. So I just want to give heads up and stuff like that, because I don't want, like, the end of May to roll around. The game comes out one day before my tooth thing as well. I'm like, but anyway. So, But yes. Let's see. Let me just check chat. So hold on. Scroll. Okay. Oh, I know I've sort of like retold this joke before, but just because Andrew says Inteleon is 007. So there is a speed run of Sword and Shield that you can see on from Games Done Quick on YouTube, it's an interesting speed run if you want to see Sword and Shield beat in like 5 hours. I definitely recommend it. I think it was it Etchi who did it, but they pick Inteleon. This was in the very early days of the game, and they used Inteleon. But they had a nickname for it, and they called it 007, which is just great. I love that so much. Oh, and then Kramen doing your duty, saying, of course, please do just note that on the off chance that we ever do experience any kind of hate speech here, remember that me and the mods will not tolerate that, and we have your back. So, yeah. Yeah, just don't be a jerk. Hang on, sorry, I know I just saved my game like 50 bajillion times, but we're gonna save it again, because we need to just, you know. But right. But yeah, don't be a jerk. Just, again, like, it's just one of those things where it like, being hateful takes a lot of energy. And I understand that sometimes we get so mad and so worked up about things that we will get pretty hateful about certain things at certain times or whatever. I understand that. I'm willing to, you know, I'm willing to kind of excuse that. But when you kind of like make that repeated conscious effort to be hateful, we'll go back to the Kevin pick. But when you make that repeated conscious effort to be hateful, that's where it's like, okay, you're repeatedly making a choice now. Like, you could avoid, you know, it's kind of like, you could, like, hey, I understand if you accidentally go down a path, but if I go, oh, hey, don't go down that path, and you're like, no, I'm going to go down that path, it's like, well, then we have a problem. So, and again, and I'll say this as well, I understand if you don't understand, like, what being trans is. I don't think people who are allies probably... I think the only people who probably fully understand what being trans is are trans people, right? But just because you don't understand something doesn't mean you can't, like, appreciate it, respect it, and be supportive of it. And just be like, okay. And that's it. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. Just have the attitude of, like, okay, yeah, sure. Like, that's it. That's it. Like... It really can be that easy. And when you make that choice, you make that choice of hatred over and over and over again, it's like, well, then that's a problem, and that's not good. And it's kind of like, well, a bit like the Keanu Reeves thing. It's like, hey, thanks for letting me know that you're like one of the 8 billion people who I need to avoid. I'm now going to look at the other 7,999,999,999 and see which of them to go befriend and find out more about, you know. So yeah, we won't, again, we have never had any problem with hatred or anything like that here, but and I'll even go, you know, and it's like, look, if you don't understand these things, if you have, and look, another thing as well, I understand why people get prejudices and why people get uncomfortable around things and stuff like that. Like, when you're a child, you literally kind of like don't understand the lives of other people. And you don't really understand, like, you know, other people really exist outside of you, and that they have different feelings and you know, and stuff like that. You don't understand that, like, other people work in various different ways and all this other stuff, and you're very susceptible to, like, poor information and stuff like that. So if there's something that you don't understand that would make you feel uncomfortable, that seems odd or weird to you because you would never do that, I understand where, like, you know, or other people who don't understand things then imbue their misunderstanding onto you. I understand all that. I get all that. And if you have, like, if you have, like, little discomforts and prejudices, I understand how those develop. But the two things that I kind of ask or would expect are, one, if you know that something's kind of like a, you know, a sort of awkward or uncomfortable prejudice or discomfort, Um, if you have like some kind of awkward or you know, uh, sort of not really acceptable kind of like mini prejudice or slight prejudice towards something, it's like one, you keep it to yourself, and two, you just try to expand your thinking and stuff so that you don't have that prejudice, so that one day you don't feel weird or uncomfortable about that thing. Like, it really is kind of that easy. Like, just shut up and just try to, like, sort of work beyond it and stuff like that. But again, but I get why these things happen. You hear stories of things where it's like, oh, well, I had this, like I had a neighbor who was really annoying, and they were from this particular country, so I don't like people from that country. I understand how like that happens, but it's kind of like, but once you are like an adult with an adult brain who is able to understand, oh, well, not everyone from that country is going to be a problem. He was just a bad neighbor, not a bad, like, blah 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 person. So I understand how this stuff happens, but it's like, but once you have that kind of full adult brain, please use it to one, keep your mouth shut, and two, just try and work on like understanding, oh right, yeah, I need to move past this, like, this sort of false preconceived notion that I have. Because again, childhood is about learning about the world and getting a bunch of wrong things about the world that you then need to fix and relearn in your adult life. That's it, basically. You either learn correct things or things that in your adult life you then need to spend a bit more time working on and learn to fix. That's kind of what life is. If you... And so that's all I ask, so... But again, once you are, like, if you're, like, old enough and wise enough to be able to sit here and type away on a computer and be on a stream, it probably means you have enough of a sense of life and this world that you know not to be hateful, and that, like, being hateful is kind of, like, being, like, that actively hateful is a choice, and it's a choice that we don't tolerate here at Beau Video Games. Right, okay, so that's my Vivian spiel. Speaking of Paper Mario, who is excited for the remake of Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door? Is there anyone who has never played... Okay, so basically, are there people who have played the game and are getting it again? People who have played the game and they don't really need to... They don't feel the need to get it again because it's like, well, I still have my GameCube and I can just play it on my GameCube. Are there people who have never played it but are planning to get it? Are there people who haven't, like, don't plan on getting it, or like they may or may not get it, like they're kind of curious about it? Are there people who don't plan to get it, but now that I'm talking about it and I say how much I love it, it's and how good it is, you're like, ooh, I'm kind of curious about this game now? Or are there any people not getting it because you're like, hey, Vivian's a trans character? Well, I don't want the game anymore. Well, then get out of this stream. Hopefully none of you fit that final category. But anyway, awkward jokes aside, who is excited for Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door HD, the remake on Nintendo Switch? I'm excited for it because my copy of Paper Mario on GameCube is 5,000 miles away. And even if I had my GameCube, it would be very awkward to set up and play here. So I'm really excited to be able to have Paper Mario in like a shiny, lovely looking, like handheld form that I can take with me and that I can play again and again and again here in America. That's been a nice thing, just kind of like in one way or another, recouping my video game collection that I... don't have, that I sort of like is left behind in England, whether it be like on Switch Online or buying remakes of things or whatever. So yeah, and let me just check chat. I just want to say, let me just catch. Oh, hang on, I'm checking the wrong chat. I'm trying to check chat on the computer, and I should be. Let's see, hang on. So, Kevin, all I'll say about the remake is it looks gorgeous and has better fast travel. Gimme! But yes, so that's good. And then, Kaisui, hi! I'm sorry, I don't think I've said hi to you yet. Kaisui, always believed that Birdo was a girl, but if this character is trans, it's fine for me, it's not a problem. See, can I just say about that, Kaisui? I'm kind of, like, inclined to agree. I almost wondered if, like, that was almost just, like, a an error or a translation thing or a mistake. Because the thing about Birdo, if people don't know about this, in the original Super Mario Bros. 2 game, or Doki Doki Panic or whatever, I don't know, but in the original game where Birdo appeared, in the credits, Birdo is actually like mislabeled as like a different enemy. Like there are two enemies. One of them is Birdo, one of them is, I think, the ostrich, the Ostro, and like Birdo and Ostro have their names like flipped, kind of thing. Like they label the wrong one the other name. So with Birdo, I never really know what like Birdo's actual origin is. I'm not sure if it was super duper like, oh, Birdo was a male who then became female. Like I'm not sure if that was really like a super duper intentional way, the way that it is with Vivian in like the Japanese and stuff like that, right? So I never really know about Birdo. If Birdo is like trans, be it like intentional or unintentional, like cool. But Vivian is a character where it sounds like, no, this character is like meant to be trans. And so that's like, that's like, okay, well, if that's kind of like irrefutably kind of true or whatever, then, but again, people are going to get silly about that and be like, oh, Nintendo have changed this and Nintendo are woke and, all this other stuff. Like, but that's a really interesting note, Kaisui. And yeah, Birdo's like a sort of an interesting issue, but and yeah, the Inteleon kind of did have trans colors. You're right, Kevin. Yes, so that was kind of funny that we had that. Let's see what else we got in chat. Hang on. So that right? Oh, Kevin's left. I've missed Kevin. Sorry, Kevin. Bye. But yeah, and then Andrew, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything to spark a reaction. Again, yeah, it goes back to Bambi. Bambi told us this lesson in like the 1940s. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. Easy. So yeah, right. I'm gonna get back to the game. It's 1:44 p.m. So if you see like if it's 44 p.m. where you are, let me know. Put like 44 p.m. or a.m. or whatever. I don't know. But like 1:44, 44. Just put that in the chat. Let me know. Maybe I should have just reset my chat there anyway, just to be safe. Like, maybe every time I stop and look at chat, I should reset the chat, but oh well. But right, how long do we have left? We've got 23 minutes, okay. It would be cool if we could get our 2 Popplios today, but given that we didn't get one before, I'm not optimistic. But we'll see. We'll see if we can get... Again, it'd be easier if Popplio had an easier to spot shiny. Oh, can I tell you something really funny? My OBS chat seems to be working live, but my YouTube chat is now not working live. So I can see 44 all on my computer screen, but I can't on my phone. That's really funny. I can't, hang on, but I can't scroll on that. So hang on, I need to reset the phone because I can't scroll on the chat. It just freezes. Right, let's just hang on. We'll get this right one more time. Hey, at least I'm upping my own ad revenue by constantly clicking in and out of chat. Hey, okay. So, oh, the manual, you remember stating that Birdo is a guy who thinks they're a girl. Was that for like the original Super Mario Bros, or was that for like a different game? Was that on Game Boy Advance, or was that on like, say, Super Nintendo Mario All-Stars, or was that on like NES? Because that's the thing. So anyway, never played it, seen a playthrough on YouTube. I'm gonna guess that might be like Sugar Conroy or someone, but anyway, oh, that's really great, Kaisui. I love that little story, just about meeting someone who was trans. Let's see, and well done for being supportive. Let's see. Right, okay, right. There's all the bye Kevin messages. That's kind of where it messed up. Oh, and then Andrew watched someone who played it recently. Okay, that's interesting. But yeah, okay. But never played it, but your backlog is already too much. I really, really want people to get this game because it's so good. And if you like played like the Origami King and you were like, oh, I found the Origami King, okay, this is like, that's not like Paper Mario. Like, when people say they love old Paper Mario, they mean the Thousand Year Door. And it's like, if you've ever enjoyed an RPG, so like if you like Pokemon, you'll probably like Mario, Paper Mario, the Thousand Year Door. If you like just any RPGs, you'll probably like Paper Mario, the Thousand Year Door. It is so good. It's an incredible game. And yeah. So let's see. Right. So let's see. Oh, it did say that in the NES release. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that because I grew up playing All Stars, and I can't remember what like my All Stars thing said. Like, I can't even remember if it said anything about Birdo. So that's okay. That's really because that's why that's kind of like, say if you heard offhand, if someone said that like, oh, Birdo was like a boy who became a girl or something like that. If you just heard that offhand, you could, someone who knows about the error in the credits could be like, oh, is that just like, but is that to do with like the credits, or is that like an actual thing, right? So if anyone didn't know that, or like, I don't know, sort of queried it, I wouldn't blame them for that, because again, there was like this weird issue with like the credits and even just giving Birdo the right name, let alone the right gender, right? But if it said that in the NES, now did it say that in like NES Japanese and NES English? I'm really interested because I had All Stars and I can't remember what the All Stars guide said. Oh, this is very interesting now. I'm gonna have to look this up later on. So okay, sorry. Also, the stream appears to be kind of laggy. It does look quite laggy. Also, Silas being a pain as well. I may need to deal with him in a second. Come on, shiny Poplio, where are you? Where are you, Poplio? I kind of go into every dark one and every one where I can't see the neck thing. Oh, I just punched my mic. So I'm scratching my nose. My nose is itching like crazy. Sila! Shh! Hopefully someone deals with him in a second. But yeah, I might have to deal with him in a second if he keeps playing up. He was a very bad boy. Yesterday, he peed indoors. Very bad boy. And it's a behavior, and again, like I said, it's a behavioral thing. It's not like, oh no, he doesn't know what a toilet is. It's like, no, he knows. He just doesn't. He just acts out. So yeah, he's very bad yesterday. So right, okay, come on, Poplio. Oh, so chat. Are there any like, I don't know, like sort of sea lions, or I don't know, like, are there any sort of like sea lion or seal emojis like in the are there any like seals or sea lion emojis? I don't know. If there are, let's do like them with like if there's like a dark blue heart, that would be good. Not a light blue, but a dark blue. But yeah, if we could maybe have, yeah, it seems to be smooth now. Oh, that's really weird. If we do like a seal emoji with like a dark blue heart, maybe also a pink heart, because we want the little pink thing around the neck. Don't worry so much about the dark blue, but if we do like dark blue and pink, and then sparkles, something like that. If there's not a seal or a sea lion or something, maybe we could have like water droplets and a dog or something, because like seals are kind of like the dogs of the ocean, or something. I don't know. Come on, where's this Poplio? We need a shiny one. We need a shiny. We got the wheels on bus, yeah, because I don't want a wheels bus. Okay, come on. Where is it? Where are you, Poplio? So that one looks kind of dark, but I can tell it's got the blue neck thing. And then that one looks kind of dark, but it's got the neck thing. And then that one's got the blue neck thing. Blue neck thing. Oh, there is a seal! Oh, that's so cute! Yeah, so if we have like seals, dark blue hearts, pink hearts, and sparkles, that would be perfect. If we could spam those emojis in chat, even though my chat keeps not working, that would be amazing. I will know it in spirit, even if I don't know it. Even if I don't know it, even if I can't see it, I will know that in spirit you are with me and posting them. Okay, let's just check chat for a sec. But oh, Sega had in Streets of Rage they okay, that's cool. Nice. And Cliffo, hi, welcome. Lovely to see you. Welcome back. Oh, is that no? It would really help if we could do this during the daytime and not the nighttime. But oh well, I feel like this whole stream has been nighttime. Well, maybe except for the initial Zorua hunt. How did we get the Zorua in 22 minutes? But we like had to do 2 sandwiches to get a Sobble, and then we're like taking ages to get the Poplio as well. But see, again, right? Earlier I said about shiny luck, right? Now, getting the Zorua in 22 minutes, that is very lucky. I can't really refute that. Again, for such a individual sort of process of like just going through one by one, we were very lucky to get one in 20 minutes. However, right, I would say taking like 38 minutes to get the Sobble was unlucky, right? Like we went to that big pond, we went to like that small pond, and then we went to the big pond, and that took ages. So you know, it's just like, oh. And then now we've been hunting for Poplio, so we did 22 minutes, and then we've been doing 30 minutes, so we're at like 35 minutes without a Poplio. Now, granted, maybe I could have potentially run past a shiny without realizing it. I am willing to accept that might be possible. But it might not have been. But I like to think I'm pretty diligent and pretty thorough when I'm looking at these things. I know I'm just like casually chit-chatting away and worrying about whether my chat is live and all this other stuff. But the simple fact is, I do look very closely at these things. I mean, you guys know I've done a bunch of streams where I've kind of like walked past something and been like, hang on, that's a shiny kind of thing. And it's just kind of come out of nowhere. And a lot of people would miss it, I feel, if they didn't know all the colors. Okay, we are a bit laggy again. I do apologize. Don't know why that happens. But okay. Chat, here's the plan, okay? We're at 1:54 p.m. and we got 16 minutes left of this. So that would take us through to about 10 past. So here's the plan. We'll shiny hunt for Poplio, okay? If we get the 2 shinies in the next 16 minutes, right, on the rest of this sandwich, then that's it, end of the stream. I literally, like, don't have any other shinies planned to catch. I could go to my like backup plan, but I think we'll kind of just call that it. You know, like we've shiny hunted enough. Like 3 hours would be long enough. Like that's good enough for me. I don't think we need to do like the backup of the backup. However, if we don't get 2 shinies in the next 16 minutes, we will do another sandwich. Okay, so if we get 1 shiny, that means we'd still need another one. And if we don't get any shinies, then it means we still need 2 Poplio. But basically, yeah, if we get 2 shiny Poplio in the next 15 minutes, because it's probably now 15 minutes, let's face it. If we get 2 shiny Poplio in the next 15 minutes, that will be it. That will be the end of the stream. We'll call it there. If we don't, we will do 1 more sandwich hunt. We won't do any more than that. We'll just do 1 more. It doesn't matter whether I get 1 Poplio, 2 Poplios, or 0 Poplios. That will then be it. So does that sound like a good plan? Because that will take us through kind of close to the 4-hour mark. We won't quite hit 4 hours, but, you know, that'll roughly be about it. See, these all have the blue thing around their neck. Grrr. So, does that sound like a good plan? Hopefully that's good. Oh, hang on. Cliffo, you're glad you're able to catch this stream before the break. Me too. And then Cliffo, the big red dog. Andrew, I won't lie. my brain kind of thinks the same thing. It's kind of like how we got like, we got like cramming instead of jamming. We've got Cliffo, the big red dog. And forgive me. One thing I will just say, I do apologize if I do ever forget anyone. We have had like a few hundred people at least pass through here at Beau Games over like the past like year and a bit. And a bunch of you kind of like say have some kind of name that you might have like a nickname, but you like being called by your real name. So for example, like I only date 2D boys. Like for that, I remember it's Archie. Now that's easy because like Archie's one of the mods, but and then there's like Kevin is like Silver, but I remember that because Kevin's just kind of like one of the OG kind of people I remember. Sort of OG fans, if I dare call Kevin a fan, and presume that I have fans. But Kevin was kind of one of the earliest people I remember, like when Chong Yun stuff started kicking off. But then there are people who kind of come and go, and sometimes you kind of, I might not be able to think of everyone off the top of my head. I think usually, like, if I see your name in front of me, I will remember you. But if I haven't seen you for a while, I might not remember. I might not sort of be, if I like list off people we haven't seen for a while. Forgive me if I ever don't say someone like a name or whatever. It's just like, I don't know. My brain will throw names at me. Sometimes it will remember some people, sometimes it won't remember others. Like, for example, we haven't seen Jill for a little while, I don't think. And, I remember Jill, but maybe on, like, another day, I might not remember Jill. And then I'll be like, oh my gosh, Jill, if I'm, like, listing off people we haven't seen for a while, I might not remember Jill. But, like, don't take it personally. It's just brains throw different names at people and stuff like that. Because, like... Again, like, you have, like, these little, you might be, Cliffo might be a bit easier to remember because you do have that, I love Cliffo, the big red dog. Do you know what I mean? Like, that might stick in your head a bit more because, like, that's fun. But I kind of say that because the other day, I was literally thinking, like, oh, I know, like, a person's name, but I can't remember their screen name. And I know that if their screen name came up in front of me, I would instantly know, yes, that's them. Like, I remember their name's Danny, but I can't remember their screen name. And then it's so funny. I was like, I don't think I've seen them on the stream for a while, but, like, I haven't seen Danny for a while, but I can't think what Danny's username is and stuff like that. And then on my Instagram post, I saw, like, the Internet Goblin. I saw it, Danny commented on an Instagram post the other day. I was like, the Internet Goblin, yes, Danny's the Goblin kind of thing. So I, like, remembered Danny, but I couldn't remember the username. And, like, the reverse could happen with people and stuff like that. So I'll just say that as well about remembering people. I like to think I'm pretty good at remembering a lot of you guys. And if you, like, have a particular name you want, I kind of generally remember it and stuff like that. But if I ever don't, I apologize. And that kind of thing's not really going to get better. Do you know what I mean? Statistically speaking, as you get older, you're not going to be able to remember things as well. People don't tend to gain astonishing memory skills. Like once they like get in their 50s. Like no one's like, oh, when you get to your 50s, like that's when you can really unlock your brain's potential to memorize stuff. So luckily I'm a way off from that, but still. So I do apologize, and particularly if you do have like two names or something like that. If you have like a if you have like a screen name and then a real name, and it's like I call you by your real name, I'm probably a little bit more susceptible to them forgetting or whatever, because I have to hold these like two bits of information in my head. But yeah. So where are these Poplios? Again, I swear I should have seen a Poplio by now. Actually, should I run around quickly here? Because in theory, in game theory, it would get like 5 Poplio appearing at a time, and then if 5 appear at a time, but then again we're not really getting many spawn, are we? No. No, I need to do this the slow way, unfortunately. Sometimes running around fast can be good, but more often than not, it's not good. The time when it's best is when you want a cluster of 5 to appear. So, for example, if you were hunting for a Blossom instead of a Grookey, running around quickly in this area would get you lots and lots of Blossoms, but you wouldn't see any Grookeys. So if you want Grookey, do not make a grass sandwich and run around on this beach like at full speed. You just if you want a Grookey, make a grass sandwich on this beach and then just walk around, because you will still see Blossoms, but you won't see as many Blossoms. So yeah. Okay. Let's see what we got. 8:44. Okay. Can I just say what a nice stream this has been? I know we had the tech issue, which sucked, but we've talked about all kinds of lovely things that I've wanted to talk about for a while, things that have kind of been more spontaneous. I've just really enjoyed this, and like chat, you guys have been incredible as well. Again, I'm sorry that I've not been able to actually see your messages as much due to this weird lagging issue, but you guys have been really awesome and have like prompted some cool stories and said a lot of really funny things that I've enjoyed today. I've really enjoyed this one, and I'm really glad. Like, I've wanted to do a Zorua stream for like a long time, like do like a Zorua hunt, and honestly, this kind of like couldn't have gone better than I'd planned or imagined, really. So thank you. Again, I'm saying that as if we're about to stop in a minute, unless we get the 2 shinies in like the next 7 minutes and 50 seconds. We'll still keep going, but I do just want to say that right here, right now. But no, we talked about teeth and eye appointments and doctors and all kinds of stuff. At the end of this stream, I will reveal what my plan for the big project is. I don't know whether we'll do the big project once I am back from my break. Because again, it's like week 1 is fine, but then week 2 is when it'll be like one day after I have a tooth out, so I don't know whether I'll be streaming that day or not. That is something I do need to ask that dentist, actually. I need to kind of message them and say, hey, so like with this like tooth thing, like I know it might affect like my speech for a few days or something, like I might need to relearn to talk a little bit so I don't have a lisp or something. But like, can I walk home after this procedure? Can I? Because I'm walking to it because the place is really close to me. But like, can I walk home afterwards? Can I only eat like liquid foods for a few days? Like, what's the plan? I do need to kind of check with that stuff, because I'll need to like grocery shop and stuff. If I need to like, you can only eat soup, then I will need to just like stock up on soup or something like that, you know. But I do have my immersion blender now, which I think I mentioned last week. I have like the stick blender now, which is nice, because that's just good for sort of better digestion and not having to use my teeth if my food is blended up a bit and a bit thinner or a bit less solid. Right, come on, where are these? Where are the shiny Poplios? Chat, can you like spam the chat with like seals and stuff for me? Like, spam, like, so seals, dark blue hearts, pink hearts, and sparkles. If you could do those 4 things, that would be awesome. Andrew says, Andrew's such a mid-name for you. You wish you had a better name, but it's not up to you. Well, actually, Andrew, once you... I don't know how old you are or anything, because I can't remember. Oh, hang on, shiny, shiny, shiny. This one's shiny. Oh, and the cat's going nuts. Sylar, your timing is tremendously awful. Okay, we might have, like, bypassed a shiny before, because that's actually quite similar. But shiny, look, it's got the pink thing. It's got the pink. Pink power. Okay, quick ball, go. Please catch it first ball. Yes! Woo! Excellent. Excellent. Andrew, you are legally an adult. You can legally change your name, my friend. If Andrew has never, like, I mean this is a legitimate way. If you're like, no, like, I feel like I'm Andrew or whatever, but if Andrew doesn't ever feel right for you or something, if there is a name that you've just always liked more, you can change your name. That is a thing you can do. There's like no shame in that. That's like a cool thing to do. If there's like a name that you've ever just like really, really liked and that feels more you or something, go for it. Because that's the thing about names, right? Okay, so you know how names are hard to memorize? It's because they don't really mean anything or something, right? Like you could never meet someone and like guess what their name is. I mean, I know we joke about that kind of thing, like, oh, here's like this, like, like, oh, here's this person who, like, oh, here's like this white guy who blah blah blahs, I bet his name is, whatever, right? Like those jokes exist, but still, you can't really, like, for the most part, look at someone and go, oh, your name's Paul, isn't it? Like, no, that doesn't make sense. But that's why names are like hard to remember, because they don't like mean anything or like have something to them. It's like if someone's name is like the name of like a fruit or a color or something, or like that you share a name with someone famous, then yeah, you're more likely to remember that. But it's because you've got that anchor to kind of sort of memorize. Like a name is just a thing that like you have to remember. There's no like logic or anything to it. It's not something that was like calculated or can be figured out. You can't scientifically figure out what someone's name is just by looking at their face. Like, that's not a thing. So it's why names are so hard to remember. It's kind of, it's kind of like, say, just like whatever your like home phone number was when you were a kid or something like that. It's just something you remember. That's how you remember it. Maybe there's like a nice rhyming scheme to it, or like, oh, all the numbers are even, or something like that. But for the most part, your home phone number or your personal phone number or whatever, it's just a thing you memorize, and your name. But that's the thing. But like your name, you don't know when your parents don't know when they're looking at a baby that like your name is gonna fit you or suit you or whatever. I mean, we've been talking about trans people today, like who for a lot of people sort of in the trans community, they may not have liked their name and they may change their name, right? Some people may like their name and keep it upon transitioning, but some people kind of like have a name they like more that they've always been drawn to, that and then that name becomes like part of their new identity. And when I say new identity, I kind of mean like the identity they've truly had all along, but just never been able to express. And that's the point I'm getting at. If there is a name that you have ever really, really liked and really, really been drawn to, and have almost like you felt like that's your name, you could do it. And you're kind of at a young enough point in your life where like you could change it and not have to worry about like, oh, I have to change all my paperwork and voting registration and so national insurance card and all this other stuff, so I just want to throw that out there. I have always, because like there are some people where they technically have a different first name but they go by their middle name. I know like 5 or 6 different people, like just personally in my life, not like famous people or anything, but just like personal people in my life who have done that, right? Is that another shiny? That's another shiny. Right, well, this stream might be over then. Okay, no, we will talk about the next game, but we have actually just managed to get the 2 shinies in like the 8 minutes or whatever. I was like, well, unless we get 2 shinies in 8 minutes. I think we just did it. Yes, we got it. We got it. Stick blender still gets you. I know, it's just I think people do call it that. Like if you go on Amazon and you type in stick blender, immersion blenders do come up. I'm not kidding. Like it immediately came up. Like it didn't mean, oh, do you mean an immersion blender? Or it like had a bunch of different blenders and then one of them was an immersion blender. Wow, we got 13 seconds left. That was very clutch. I mean, obviously we had longer than 13 seconds left when we found it. But chat, that was very clutch. This also means in a few months from now, if there's when there's a Poplio community day later this year, because there will be a Poplio community day in like May or June or something like that. It means when there is a community day, I will not have to exhaustively search to get like 6 of them I will only need 3, because I will only need to get 3 for Pokemon Go, and I won't need to worry about getting a bunch more for like my Scarlet and Violet. So that's really cool. Look at that. I now have, well, I almost now have 1 of every starter. Isn't that cool? Isn't that fun? So I will need to put these in my Pokemon home, and then that'll be it for today, and that'll be it for a few weeks. So we'll kind of begin to wrap up now. But yeah, let's just check. I got congrats. Shell loves. Hang on. She loves. She loves lol. Hi. How am I doing? I'm doing very well. I just got all the shinies I need, but I am unfortunately just about to wrap up the stream because I got all the shinies I needed. So I do apologize for that. But what we'll do, hang on, I'll take a few screenshots and stuff like that, and then we'll kind of wrap up for today. And we'll put them in Pokemon Home as well and stuff like that. So don't worry, we're not like done, but you know, we are really nearly at the end now. But thank you all so much for joining me today as well. I'll just say that again quickly. But yeah, but let's just check up on chat and stuff like that. Hopefully, Lexi is a cool name, but that's what I mean. If it's technically your nickname, like, go by it. Don't, have it. Have it. It's yours. That name is yours. Okay, so I think actually I'm just going to reset my chat on the YouTube. Because I think that the chat might have slowed down a bit or got desynced or whatever I'm trying to say. Okay, there we go. Oh, no, wait, no, I want chat back. Okay. Right, okay. So let's evolve these Poplios, and then, so I have 1 of each, and then we can, there we go. Oh, the cat's going nuts. Scyla. Right, okay. Anyway, let's evolve these. And then this is cool, because it means I have less to do on Communities Day in a few months. It's Brion! We got Brion! Or Brion! Nice. Okay. Excellent. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take this one. I always like doing it by levels for whatever reason. I like just taking the one that's the highest level, and that one becomes my final evolved form, and then my one that is the lowest level stays at the lowest form. That's just how I end up doing it. But no, this has been very successful as well. We did our plan, and we did our backup plan. If we had finished about half an hour ago, I would have done my backup for the backup plan, and we actually do have time for that, but I want to save that for something else. I want to save that as a backup for something else, because this could have been potentially another stream, like, oh, I'm gonna hunt for water type starters. Whoa, look at Primarina, lovely stuff. Sparkling Aria. Do I want to learn that? It's a sound-based move. It knows Hydro Pump. No, I think I'm good. Okay. Look at that. There we go. Oh my gosh. I can't believe we actually managed to fit all that in. I was worried when we didn't get the Shawble, my poor Shawble. I was worried when we didn't get Sobble right away, but there we go. Right, so we got Zorua. And then we also got, well, we already had Shiny Poplio. But we got our Brion. We got our Primarina. We got Sobble, which we evolved into Drizzile and then Inteleon. So there we go. We did it. We did it, chat. I'm very excited. So there we go. Wow. And this probably means I'm kind of largely done playing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet now, because I really don't have many shinies left to get in this game. They really are just like obscure ones that like I can't really get in some ways. The main difficult one that would make for a very boring stream, and I don't really know how I'm gonna get it. Because I got the equivalent version on Pokemon Scarlet by sheer dumb luck. Is I need the Water Tauros, the Water Paldean Tauros, in shiny form. And I only got it in Scarlet because I had an outbreak of the fire. I got the fire one because I had a fire type outbreak, and I just dropped everything and shiny hunted for several hours to get it, because it's even though you had an outbreak, it's still so hard to get. Yeah, it's I might need to keep checking my Violet every day just to check if I get an outbreak of the Tauros. That could be good. Bounce Sweet is another one where I think I need an outbreak of it specifically to have the best chance of getting it. But in terms of everything else, though, I think I do have I think, oh, that is... And I need, like, Squawkabilly. I need the other forms of Squawkabilly, I guess. But that's kind of it. That really is it for, like, all the shinies I can get in this game, which is just absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Right, we'll deposit these in Pokemon Home, and then I will tell you guys... I'll just check my topics list and just check I haven't missed anything, and then I will tell you about what we're going to be doing once I'm away from my break. Again, don't worry about my break. It doesn't have anything to do with my teeth or my acid reflux or anything like that. It's something I've had on the books for a while. It's just, yeah, the health stuff kind of is all timed out around this thing, which is very annoying. So it's all good. But yeah, I won't be streaming next Saturday or the Saturday after, but then what day will it be? May the 18th, maybe? Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, May 18th. May 18th is when I'll be back, and that's when I hope I'll maybe do a new series, or I might do some kind of filler stream, depending on the tooth thing. I'll find out about what the tooth stuff involves and how dilapidating or not that might be. Or I might just have to do a stream where I have a lisp or something like that. So let's see. And I'll let you know if I have to do the Chongyun GoFundMe. But right now, again, I've got like $1,800 for the tooth. You know, I was hoping that the gigs that I've just been working would cover me for the sort of busy time that I'm about to have, where I'm not going to be able to, like, stream or work. But nevertheless, it's just going to go straight to the teeth, so I have less of a buffer now. But I'll let you know when I get back if it's like, yeah, guys, I need the super chats and stuff like that. So again, sort of, they are hugely appreciated. And they certainly do help, but right now it's not a desperate necessary thing. It's just a very kind, loving thing if you do. And thank you again to our anonymous person from last week, who's not anonymous to me, but was to you. Well, actually, no, unless that's the thing. I don't know how it appeared in the chat with the Wonga, but if they appeared in chat, then you know who it is. If they didn't appear in the chat, I figured out who it is. Right. Oh, I didn't talk about that thing, but that's too much of a heavy topic. That I'll post a YouTube short of rather than get into. I've talked about Vivian, and I said about how my stomach has weirdly been better, which I find highly suspect. But yeah. But I really appreciate you guys joining me. We had quite a high like peak concurrent viewers at one point today. Oh, and there goes the cat being nuts. Let's see. I'm just checking chat just to make sure that I haven't like missed anything. Okay. So, oh, hang on. So what we're gonna do? Hang on a minute. Hang on. We're gonna put these guys. No, wait. Hang on. These guys can go here. These guys can go here. You can go here. There you go, next to the... Oh, why have I got, like, Incinerate? Oh, hang on. Hold on, something's wrong. Well, not something's wrong, but... Let's move this here. And then... Hang on, we'll figure this out in a sec. Hold on. So we'll get our... Shawble, my poor Shawble. And then we'll put Shawble here. And then we'll get... Hang on, we'll get our little Littens and put them here. And then we'll put these guys and move them down. And then there we go. Someday I do need to just sort this out so it's like all in order or something like that. But not today. But you can see, I got my male Meow stick. Wasn't that cool? I also got an extra random Toxtricity. That was fun. And then, yeah, I've gotten a lot of things recently. But, like, here's my Fire Tauros shiny that I got from the Outbreak. But, again, the odds of getting an Outbreak are just really slim and small and stuff like that. So, I don't know how that works out. And I've got a bajillion tandem mouses. Because maybe someday one of them will evolve into the mouse hold that I want. But here is our final one. The missing Zorua. Love it, 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 love it. You love to see it. And I'll put the Grookey there as well. Okay, so there we go. That is everything. Oh, I got a Nincada, which I'm very pleased with. But I can't evolve it, because otherwise Pokemon Home will think it's like a duplicated cloned Pokemon and will delete one of the shinies or something. So I have to... So here's an idea for a potential stream someday. I may go on like my Pokemon Shield. I may get like a Japanese Ditto or something. And a Nincada, and I may do a shiny Nincada egg hatching stream on Pokemon Shield. That may be something we do someday. Maybe that could be the filler stream we do when we come back. I don't know. But that's an idea. That is an idea I have. So hey, coming on Pokemon Home worked out in terms of talking about stuff for my future plans. But no. So I have teased you all long enough. I've said for a long time now that since last year I had an idea for like what I wanted to do on stream, and I thought I was going to do it the stream after my birthday, right? I thought the stream after my birthday, I'm going to begin this new game, but then we had the video game strikes and stuff like that. I've talked about all that before, so I won't get into that with you guys now, but basically I thought I was thinking, okay, I'll get to the end of this year. We're gonna get the second part of the DLC, and then and that'll be like in the winter. We'll do that with the Ice type team. I'll have my birthday at the beginning of January, and then I'll move into this big new game that I've been planning. But then that's when we like had a problem, because we had the strike, and I was like, well, I don't want to start this big new project if we have a strike. And then we had the like the epilogue to the DLC come through as well. So I've kind of just been like doing various mini projects like Link's Awakening and stuff, and Pokemon Snap. Go watch that if you didn't. But basically, even though we technically could still strike, it's like, right, when I'm back from my break, I don't care. We're gonna just do the game. We're gonna do the game that I have wanted to do. Since like for almost like a year now, I've kind of been like, okay, I'll get to the end of this year, and then when I get to 2024, we're gonna play this game, and I'm really excited about it. I even had a joke in mind, but it's a joke I'd be too afraid to make. But are you guys... I'm going to reset my chat just so I can definitely see you guys live and stuff like that. But are you guys ready to finally hear the game that I have been... And I do apologize, I've been talking about for ages, where I'm like, oh, I came up with the idea last year, and I wanted to do it, and I wanted to play it, and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, but then I had the strike, and then I da-da-da. Like, I've been saying this for ages, and I said that, like, oh, when we get back, that's when we're going to do it, and stuff like that. But this is the time when we really, truly, deeply are now going to do this thing. Are you ready for the thing? It is. No. Sorry. No, it is. We're going to be playing Tetris. No, I'm kidding. No. So, here's what I've wanted to play for a long time now. And I'm really excited to say, again, and it might depend on this whole tooth coming out thing and stuff like that, but my plan for, like, at some point in, like, May or something like that, or beginning of June at the latest or whatever, is I want to play on stream The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I've wanted to do this for a while. It's such a massive game. You guys obviously like me and know me because of Genshin. And though I don't think the games are actually that similar, there's like a lot of vibes and stuff like that where it's similar. So, I think it's a game that a lot of you, those of you guys who know me and like me, and if you like me for Chongyun, you will, you know, if you don't know Breath of the Wild, if you haven't played Breath of the Wild, you'll love Breath of the Wild. So that's my plan. That's the game I've wanted to play. Oh, this is really annoying. I reset my chat on my phone, but now the OBS chat is working better because I can see Zach's joke just come through, but it hasn't on the OBS, but it hasn't come through on my phone. But it's like the Krabby Patty secret formula episode, yeah. the formula is yeah. So hopefully you've all just heard that. I don't know whether like chat has been able to like actually like hear that or not. I'm gonna have to reset this again just to make sure. But or my stream maybe has just like, you know, has just crashed. Who knows? But hopefully you heard me. Hopefully you heard that. Oh, there we go. There's the chat. Okay. Okay, I can see it on my phone now. But that's like, so OBS is then, and then, oh no, and then Zach's comment has disappeared from OBS. Like I saw Zach's joke. Oh no, wait, no, there it is. No, okay, I can see Zana saying the secret formula is okay. So anyway, so there we go. So yeah, so I want to do Breath of the Wild. When I was playing Tears of the Kingdom last year, I was like, I think Breath of the Wild could be fun to play on chat. I know it's quite an action-heavy game, and we haven't had a whole lot of luck with like action-heavy games and me being able to like look at chat and stuff like that. But Breath of the Wild is so big and open that I can just stop and quickly glance over at chat, you know, or I can just be like riding my horse, which is kind of like in autopilot mode, and stuff like that, you know. There's like loading times between like entering a shrine and things like that where I can look over at chat. So I really have thought about this, and I do think it will be the nice mix between something kind of like relaxing and big, but also like, you know, but there'll be action and fun stuff as well. So, so I don't know how much of the game we'll kind of do. Like, I kind of would like to do all the shrines. We won't necessarily do like every item upgrade or anything like that, but I kind of would like to do all shrines. But maybe we could just do a, like, you know, depending on how long it takes and stuff like that, maybe we'll be like, let's just do the final boss or whatever, you know. So, but that has been my plan for ages. So basically, you can picture, right? Like last May, June, July, whatever it was, I'm like playing Tears of the Kingdom. I'm like, oh, I really love this. I think Breath of the Wild could be really good to go back to and to stream, you know. And then like in that later part of the year, it's like video game strike, and it's like, okay, that's not what I was expecting. So, but that's my plan. So I just kind of like half joked a minute ago about how people compare Breath of the Wild and Genshin Impact and say they're similar. An idea I had for like so I had an idea ages ago for like a YouTube short where I announced that I'm doing Breath of the Wild, where it's like, hey guys, so I want to announce my next big video game project that I'm going to be playing every Saturday, 11 a.m. PST, here at Beau Video Games. I'm so excited to announce to you that I am going to, I know that you guys will be really excited about this. I'm going to play the game with like the beautiful landscapes and the gliding. And I was going to like name the things that are kind of like on the surface similar, but then actually when you get into it, the games aren't that similar. But I was going to do that, but I didn't want to seem like I was like throwing shade, because there are people who like don't get jokes or that don't know that I have vehemently said that they don't seem to really actually be that similar games in a lot of ways, like at a fundamental level. Like I get on surface level why people would say they're similar, like based on like reveal trailers and this, that, and the other, but like they're not actually that similar. But I do think they're similar enough that if you've never played Breath of the Wild but you're a Genshin fan, like you like me because of Genshin, then come watch me play Breath of the Wild, because it's going to be really special and really fun, and I'm excited to play it again. Like I loved playing Tears of the Kingdom last year, and I'm excited to dive back into it. So yeah. So let me just check chat. Let me just see. Shrine hunt could be a whole stream. Well, no, shrines don't take like 4 hours, I don't think. Now you're scaring me. Yeah, oh man, this whole chat thing is completely wild. I am going to just reset it one more time just to make sure I have or haven't missed something. But let's see. So, okay. Right, so that does seem to be the most recent comment. So Zach says, going to be so much fun. Kramen says, sounds like a game we're going to have a lot of stream clips from. Lol, looking forward to it. Yeah, anytime I fall off a mountain, we have to clip it and send it to Sarah. Cliffo, let's go. Andrew, yay. Kaisui, oh yes please. And then Zach, oh, that is a big game. And then Xander's like, oh, and then Kramen's like, oh, okay, cool. I'm glad you guys like that. So does that sound good? Does that sound fun? Hopefully it is. I'm really excited for it. Again, I've had this idea for a long time, and you know, whether I'm like a tooth down or not, I really want to do this now. And it's funny though, because when I started thinking about it, it was kind of at a time where like my streams had kind of been okay. I wasn't getting a whole lot of lag or anything like that, and I was like, yeah, my streams are kind of working okay. I think it could handle because Breath of the Wild is like only 30 FPS anyway. So I quite like playing games that are only 30 FPS because I have my stream on 30 FPS. But then today we've had all these issues, and we've got this chat issue now and stuff like that. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, bark. So that is her 3-year stream anniversary was a few days ago. That was Sarah's. Oh wow. And also as well, I will just say, the day before I lose this tooth is a Thursday, and it might be a Thursday where I might be able to hop on and join Sarah on stream, and I might be a bit nervous about it, but I will also have Paper Mario that day, so I might also be busy playing that, and that might be the way to, like, just make sure I, distract myself that evening, but we'll see what happens. So, right, that really is it now. We're done with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We're probably done with, like, all the shiny hunting that I'm ever going to do on stream for these games, barring any weird updates or anything. And we even put them in Pokemon Home because I needed to stretch things out, and the screen went dark and all that other stuff. So, but that's it. So yeah, when I come back, we'll either do some kind of like a couple of filler streams or something, just if I do need to take it easy because of this tooth situation or whatever. Because there's no point in starting Breath of the Wild if like I then have to have a week off and then have to take a 2-week gap. Do you know what I mean? So I'll kind of find out what the situation is. If it just turns out that like, no, you'll be like a tooth down, but you'll need to practice learning to speak with like a false tooth in, then hey, maybe talking about Breath of the Wild for 4 hours in episode 2 could be the perfect thing to do. So I will find out what kind of is going on, and then when I come back, I will set up my stream schedule and sort of thing, and we'll kind of figure out a plan then. But hopefully it will just be, what we're doing with Breath of the Wild, baby. So yeah. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. Thank you for all your amazing love and support and talking about all the incredibly interesting things we've ended up talking about today. And thank you for just supporting me throughout this year and stuff like that. Again, I know things are a bit quieter now, but please like and subscribe if you're new and you haven't, and all that other lovely stuff. And I'll see you guys in a few weeks. Have a really good few weeks. That's the thing, I may not be on social media and stuff like that as much as well. It really might just be I might just be a bit kind of go dark kind of thing. Like maybe not fully, but like a bit. So yeah, so I really might not see you guys very much for the next few weeks. I might not post much to like Twitter or Threads or I probably definitely won't be posting to like Instagram much, for example. So, but yeah, the few weeks I'm away is not because of health or anything. It's fine. And I will explain what's going on and why I like have taken like a 2-week break when I'm back to streaming. But yeah, but I will see, hopefully 3 weeks from today, so like May 18th or whatever, I'll be back with some Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It's gonna be, to quote my friend Ryan Bartley, wild. So there we go. But thank you all so much. I love you guys, and please take care, not just for this week but for next week and the one after, and I will see you all in what I'm sure will end up being no time at all. But stay safe out there, take care, love you lots, and bye bye. Hopefully I can see the rest of the chat. Bye guys.